speaking of copes and speaking of L's, Ben Shapiro talked to Megyn Kelly. Mm-hmm. You know, Megyn's friends with Tucker Carlson.
Yep. Megyn, supposedly a big fan of Charlie Kirk and friends with him.
Friends with Ben Shapiro. And this isn't a classic example of a girl who has guy friends who are all acting like bitches right now. So the lady has to sit all the boys down and find out if they're still on their period. So Ben Shapiro had a difficult time with Tucker Carlson talking to a guy.
Right.
Tucker Carlson sat down, he talked to a guy, and the entire Republican Party exploded. The entire Republican Party just went mental because Tucker Carlson wasn't. It was so funny watching a bunch of guys holding the Jewish Republican Conference and waving Israeli flags go up on stage and unironically say, Tucker is not MAGA, Tucker is not America first. It was so funny to watch American Republican Congressman Randy Fine go up on stage behind an Israeli flag and go, Tucker is not MAGA. Tucker is not America first. It's like the irony. We're not going to grab.
I'm starting to think they're doing it deliberately. Like, no, he's deliberately in front of the flag while he says this. This isn't an accident.
It's, you're Billy Bob Thornton. You're just, God damn it. Are you fucking with me? So Randy Fine does this. Ben Shapiro does a 45-minute show just telling you why Israel's really totally cool and awesome. And Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes. And by the way, that's what this is all over, is Kid Dynamite, Nick Fuentes, on his generational run. Again, my favorite part of the Tucker Nick interview. I'm sorry I called you gay, by the way.
Yeah.
Or
sorry I called you a Fed.
I thought you were a Fed. I thought you were a Fed.
You were a Fed.
Sorry. It was just in the middle of a question, though. He's like, and the funny thing about Israel is, sorry I called you gay, by the way.
Yeah, just he interrupted his actual serious thought to be like, oh, by the way, I called you gay. My apologies.
So Megyn Kelly sat down with Ben Shapiro, and they're going to talk it out like girls. We're going to find out why, Ben Shapiro's vagina is, maybe the pH is off. Who knows? Maybe he's got
a little sand in there or something.
Yeah, he's aggravated. So he sits down with Megyn Kelly, and I know what you're thinking because some of you have your preconceived notions about Ben Shapiro, but let me tell you something. Ben Shapiro is going to have this interview with Megyn Kelly, and we're going to play most of it. And let me tell you something. Ben Shapiro is measured. Ben Shapiro is fair. He is responsible, and he is articulate.
Really?
No. He loses his mind and just yells and rails and spews ad hominems and copes about Tucker talking to Nick Fuentes and the fact that Ben Shapiro and his billionaire friends from Israel don't get to control the narrative anymore. By the way, right after Charlie Kirk was murdered, when Charlie Kirk was talking about, breaking from the Israel lobby, Ben Shapiro and the Daily Wire gave $1 million to Turning Point USA.
Yeah. Turning Point USA got a boost of cash afterwards. It's out of support, for this horrible tragedy. We had to do something.
Totally out of support of the tragedy, 100%. So here's Ben talking to Megyn Kelly. And then after this, we have Candace Owens leaking text messages from between her and Charlie Kirk about Ben Shapiro. These will be fun. Let's go ahead and play Ben Shapiro talking to Megyn Kelly. And again, Megyn Kelly is being the man in this situation where she's sitting all of her friends down to figure out why they're being bitches.
A right wing that embraces its own fringes will end up in the same position as a left wing that has embraced its fringes.
Okay, so that's why I want to get into it. Embraces.
Yes.
So now, having spoken to Tucker, I actually see that interview very differently. And I did listen to the interview, and I knew what Nick Fuentes was. And I think he did show himself to be who he is. It wasn't his most vile stuff, but you got the feel for what this guy was. But I really think Tucker was talking to him, Ben, to put like a bumper on this guy. Because what Tucker was urging him the whole time was to understand that collective punishment for any one group of people is wrong. It's deeply immoral, and it's anti-Christian, which this guy is supposed to be. And reminding him of how deeply immoral that is, that you should not be looking at a group of people, whomever it is. The left does it to everyone, whites mostly, but like this collective shame, white men in particular. And there's a group of people like Nick Fuentes that does it to groups of Jews. And he was making the case throughout the whole interview in the way that Tucker does. He's not like you or me. He's not like pointed and cross-examining.
That is not true.
All right, so that's Megan's first volley to Ben, and then we'll get Ben. You can already hear Ben loading up his cope. That is
Right.
not true. Ben is one of those guys who, and you just run into people like this, they're not good defenders. They don't do well when the ball's not in their hands.
They have to be on the attack.
They have to be on the attack all the time. They can't be on the back foot, and that's not a good look. Megan, I think, had a decent point. Like, Tucker wasn't there to destroy Nick Fuentes. Let's be very honest about what it is. Tucker and Nick agree on America's position on Israel, and they wanted to talk about that mostly. Nick Fuentes is also one of the hottest things out there right now, and people want to hear what he has to say. So Tucker brought him on there to say what he has to say. And Tucker did push back a few times. But like all of these interviewers, they're so fucking gutsy. They're so ballsy when they're not the one doing the interview. They can tell everybody else how to do the interview. Well, here's an idea, Ben. Interview Nick Fuentes. Show us how to take this guy down. Show him how to rip him apart. If he's racist, if he's unreliable, if he's a bigot, it shouldn't be hard to take him apart. And Ben won't do it.
If he gets you this stirred up, I mean, at least commit that energy to something
Right.
as positive as possible.
Why?
I guess the interview is about the best you can do.
Has Nick Fuentes said no to anybody for an interview?
Not that I know of. I mean, I haven't tried.
I don't think Nick
I'm
has.
sure I could get that no.
Okay, but a big name guy.
Yeah, no, I don't believe so. Not at
If
all.
Ben Shapiro asked Nick Fuentes to go on his Daily Wire show, would Nick Fuentes do it?
Oh, absolutely.
So the only person stopping this from happening is Ben Shapiro. So when Ben Shapiro's sitting next to Megyn Kelly, he's got all kind of cash money shit to talk about Nick Fuentes and how Tucker Carlson should handle him or how these other people should handle him. Well, Ben, you have a massive platform too. Bring him on, handle his ass. You be the great defender of all things Judaism. And fight your battle of Tour on the battlefield of ideas with Nick Fuentes, but he won't do it. Ben's afraid of people thinking what Ben isn't thinking. Ben doesn't want people thinking anything other than what he's told them. So if somebody comes in with, a cut of a different jib and they're getting traction and people are liking it, Ben doesn't have a counter argument. He just has, no, stop it. Stop listening to him. Don't like him. So let's see how he responds to Megyn Kelly.
And cross-examining.
That is not true.
And was making...
That is fundamentally untrue.
No.
Ask Senator Ted Cruz whether that is true.
He gave it to Ted Cruz because Ted Cruz is a politician.
That's yeah. Well, hold up. So only politicians get cross-examined?
You don't. Well, look,
Truly?
it depends on the person.
Tucker would never cross-examine a person who is not a politician. That's his rule.
Tucker has excoriated public figures who purport to speak for us and represent us for many years. Nick Fuentes is a podcaster civilian.
Okay, I just have a...
Here's an example to prove Ben wrong right away. Tucker Carlson interviewed Anna Kasparian, and he was kind to her, and he was nice to her, and he didn't push back. He ignored the things they disagreed on because he wanted to hear what she thought about things.
Right.
He didn't cross-examine her. Ted Cruz is a guy who has a vote on whether or not to give Ukraine money or give Israel money. Ted Cruz is the guy Tucker wants to yell at. When he and Nick Fuentes are yelling about these things, they want to yell at Ted Cruz. So he had Ted Cruz on. This is his chance to yell at a guy who actually can make decisions.
Right, yeah. Ted Cruz is not the... I don't know where Ben Shapiro even thinks for a second that even though he is a podcaster, regardless of his level of fame, like going after someone in, say, the press corps versus going after, say, someone in... the actual, government in terms of how you interview them on a show, I would expect two totally different kind of styles because, like you said, one of those people was elected by all of us, supposedly to speak for all of us. The other person's just a guy with a microphone and a camera.
Right.
Question. We all in our industry are constantly excoriating people who are in our industry. It happens all the time, every single day.
Okay.
Again,
but we're talking about his interviews.
We can agree to disagree on your interpretation of what Tucker was doing there. I think everybody should watch and determine for themselves what they think Tucker was doing in that interview. And I urge you.
We will, Ben. But when we don't come to the same conclusion that you do, are you going to just say that we all hate Jews and we're all bad guys and we all got it wrong? Like, it's one thing to tell people to watch something and make up their own mind. It's another thing to be able to allow them to do that.
Every time Ben excoriates someone, though, it seems to be someone like, even like, let's pull a random man, Candace Owens. He's like a big fan until all of a sudden she has one opinion and then, wait, what?
What does that opinion tend to be, too? It seems to be that there's one opinion in particular that makes him turn on people.
He'll boil it down to, I don't like Jews, but what it really comes down to is a lot of people going, you know what? I'm not cool with how Israel behaves.
Right. I'm not
tired
cool.
of being weirdly like subservient to Israel. I thought we were America.
Thought this was America. God damn it. No, it's that is what Ben seems to turn on. You know?
To watch it back to back with the Ted Cruz interview to determine whether you think that was an aggressive Tucker Carlson interview, and you can judge for
I
yourself.
didn't say it was aggressive.
My opinion.
I didn't say it was aggressive, and I don't think he would say it was aggressive.
And I think
his point was, this guy, first of all, he's become a behemoth, sadly. He's got 5 million viewers on Rumble. He's got 1 million followers on X.
I agree.
This is all before Tucker Carlson. And he was platformed, I hate that verb, but he was platformed by Patrick Bet-David. And he went on Dave Smith's show, and he went on another big show. He's been getting more and more purchase in the political ecosphere, including right wing.
And I think that's
Patrick
bad.
Bet-David has a huge show. I know, but
Patrick
did you know that Patrick Bet-David had him on? Did his life blow up?
Patrick Bet-David did a significantly more aggressive interview with Nick Fuentes than Tucker did.
Not really. I think I watched the Patrick Bet-David Nick Fuentes interview. It seemed very skin deep. It seemed very superficial, and it was not combative at all.
I would like to criticize that comment on the. I don't think I've ever seen Patrick Bet-David do an aggressive interview.
No. Here's what Patrick Bet-David does. He talks about his business for 30 seconds, sets up a crazy, stupid metaphor for 45 seconds, comments on the brilliance of the metaphor he just made for 45 seconds, then lets you have a 30-second answer to his shitty question. There's your Patrick Bet-David interview. All right, I have something for you, Johnny. Let's say I run a business where I sell watermelons. And then when I sell the 4th watermelon, they're all good watermelons, the first 4 watermelons. All right, but on the 5th watermelon, I sell it to a black man. And that 5th watermelon happens to be my bad watermelon in the batch. Did I sell a bad watermelon to a black guy because I think black people like watermelons, so they'll just like the bad watermelon no matter what? Or did it so happen that watermelon was accidentally sold to a black guy? This is what I mean. So what do you think the top marginal tax rate should be?
The fuck?
Correct. That is the correct answer to Patrick Bet-David. All right. So right now, kids are wearing skinny jeans, right, Johnny?
Right. Yeah.
So I have a pair of skinny jeans. All right. I sell skinny jeans. If I sell skinny jeans right now, I'll do very well. If I want to sell bell bottoms, I won't do very well because people don't like bell bottoms anymore. So I'm the skinny jeans guy, and I go over here and I'm saying to the skinny jeans people, I have the best skinny jeans there are. And all the young people, they want to come over, they want to buy my skinny jeans. And then one of them says, I'd like to sell some of your skinny jeans. And I say, okay, you start selling my skinny jeans. And when you sell my skinny jeans, then you can have somebody else sell the skinny jeans as well, and we'll all do better in business, right?
Sure.
Okay, what do you think about the NBA betting scandal?
I don't understand the question.
It's
Your
a
Honor.
very simple question. The skinny jeans and black basketball players. Who do you think? By the way, for those of you questioning whether or not that's a great Patrick Bet-David impression, it's the best Patrick Bet-David impression. Maybe not the voice, but the vibe is perfect. All right, I'm sorry. See,
it's like playing 3-card money with an interview. It's weird.
Right? It really is. He's just, all right, are you following? There's a P under here, and then I have 3 cups. You see them? All right, there's the cup. I'm going to shift them around. Do you see that? Do you see what I'm doing with the cups? Look over there.
Now, where's the P?
I think I'll take the 3rd choice. There is no P. Sorry. I wish more of you would watch the Ridley Scott Robin Hood. That's all I'm saying. I wish more of you would watch it. So every time Ben Shapiro criticizes this interview, I just keep thinking, like, the same comeback I keep having for Ben is quit whining like a pussy and interview the guy, then show us how it's done, Ben.
Yeah, it's weird to see him after his Tom McDonald step in rap line and everything else.
Oh God!
Like Like, it's weird to see him kind of bitch out and be afraid to talk. Because I know for a fact, because like Candace Owens interviewed Nick Fuentes, they had some interesting conversations.
They fought. They fought.
Right. And I know for a fact that Nick Fuentes isn't afraid to speak to people that he maybe has an overarching moral disagreement with. So it's not like he won't talk to Ben. So I don't know what's holding up Ben. I know Ben keeps
actually funding by Israel.
Oh,
that's what's keeping up Ben. Oh, I thought you meant like what's keeping him up, like propping his company up. Oh,
I'm imagining like Ben's like itching, like secretly behind the scenes, like chomping at the bit, like I want to face this guy, I want to put him down, like Netanyahu's not okay with it. And he's like, no, you don't understand, you're gonna lose.
Right. Netanyahu is Mickey in Rocky 3. Ben Shapiro wants to fight Mr. T, but Mickey knows that Mr. T will kill him.
I've taken them all out. I can handle this one too. They was handpicked.
Ben, they were handpicked. They were setups. They were good fighters, but they weren't killers like this guy. He'll knock you into tomorrow. He'll kill you to death inside of 3 rounds, Ben. That's what will happen. Well, if you want this guy, you've got him. But you've got him without me.
Okay, but my point is simply he's growing. He's growing in stature. And so what I saw Tucker do was not whitewash his ideas, but try to put bumpers up on the guy. I know Tucker well, and I think that was his approach. And the way, if you want to put a bumper up on Nick Fuentes, is it helpful to say, you're fucking vile, you're an anti-Semite?
Yes.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
That doesn't put a...
Yes, it
No,
is.
it isn't. That makes
Yes,
the audience feel good because you have hand-to-hand combat, but it doesn't help change that guy's view.
Not only that, if you do that to Nick Fuentes, the audience will go, see, this is what Nick says everyone says about him. This is an attack interview. You create sympathy for Nick Fuentes. He didn't get a fair shake with Shapiro. We knew Shapiro the Jew was going to do this to Nick.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. Ben's just mad because this guy's getting popular. Ben's mad that the corporate money that keeps the Daily Wire up isn't making Ben the #1 guy anymore, and that the world is shifting. I mean, these guys, in a way, I empathize with them because they've lost everybody under 40 when it comes to Israel. It's over. It's done. America's association, once these people over 40 die off, America's association with Israel might be done, or at least it's closer to happening now than it ever has been before. And Ben Shapiro and these other guys have made their bones on this particular issue, and now they don't know what the hell to do. And so they're settling for liberal tactics, which is just call him racist.
Let's just say he's an anti-Semite and just speak and go, no, we can't even talk to him.
Now, it doesn't hurt that in this case, they're probably right.
Oh, yeah, no, he's a raging anti-Semite.
He hates Jews. He really does.
But he's also very, I'm trying to think of it. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of Nick Fuentes. By that, I mean any.
I got you.
But from clips and stuff that I've seen, I've never seen him get particularly emotionally worked up. He'll get energetically invested, but he won't have there's no anger there. He might talk fast because he's covering a lot of stuff and he's kind of rearing, but he's not yelling at he's not Alex Jones, they're all coming for you, it's a conspiracy. He's not doing any of that stuff. Again, I just feel like overall to treat him we can't talk to him. We can't attend. He's a vile, horrible person. Yeah, but he doesn't make himself seem that way.
Right.
So if you end that argument there without even being able to listen to his point first and go, and here's why you're stupid, you kind of give him more platform than not.
His extremeness at all.
Okay, I'll tell you what doesn't change Nick Fuentes' view. Tucker Carlson with his arm around Nick Fuentes, grinning for the camera, while Nick Fuentes tweets out America first, and then triumphantly goes on the air the next day to explain that he has essentially used Tucker Carlson as a vehicle for manipulating other people.
That's what everybody does interviews for. Every time an actress goes on Jimmy Fallon's show, it's not because they really like Jimmy Fallon as a guy. They want to promote their movie.
They want to promote their fucking movie.
They want to manipulate people into going to the movie theater.
Do you think those Hollywood stars were doing car karaoke with What's His Fuck because they wanted to?
James Corden, yeah.
There we go. Thank you.
I love that people have forgotten about him. That makes me so happy.
I try not to commit his name to memory for that reason.
Good. No, Ben Shapiro is, he is the news interviewer version of the guy who thinks the stripper likes him.
Oh shit.
Sorry, I didn't mean some people. They get on that, and you can't talk them out of it.
Oh man.
Okay, that's what Nick Fuentes is saying.
All right, now try. Now try to see if she'll let you do coke off her ass when you don't give her thousands of dollars. That's the ultimate test. Does this stripper like me? Hey, can we just go somewhere and do illicit drugs off your body for free? I got a thing.
Does this stripper like me? I just got done taking more money out of the ATM. Yeah, I think she likes you for about, I don't know, $200 worth still.
Well, it's the guy with Maya Rudolph in Idiocracy.
Oh, no.
Like another $10,000 to wait. All right, baby.
Not me, Nick Fuentes. Okay, and Nick Fuentes, and by the way, I will again say that Tucker Carlson, when you say to somebody in an interview, do you condemn anti-Semitism? And then the person says, sure, which is what Nick Fuentes said. He said, I'm not an anti-Semite, which is blatantly untrue.
Yeah.
A responsible journalist.
And you guessed it, a Jew.
Would then follow up, demonstrating that that is false. Tucker did not do that. He allowed him to get away with that, and then he allowed him to talk about, quote-unquote, organized Jewry, followed by Nick Fuentes being treated to a disquisition by Tucker Carlson about why Christian Zionists of all human beings on earth are the people that he hates the most.
He took that back.
You can't.
I don't. I think it's gross. I think you're a religion traitor. I think you're a heretic. If you put another religion over your own, or another nation state, another nationalist ethno state above your own religion, I do think I think you're garbage for doing that. And especially if that religion is the religion that had your savior killed. It's cool.
Like trying to get a metal pole and a tree branch to stick together. You got to use duct tape. It still doesn't look right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like.
Or a tree brim. It could be a tree brim too.
A tree brim.
Yeah, tree brim, tree branch. We don't have to speak English anymore.
Same fucking things.
Yeah, right.
Take that back.
What I wanted to say for pausing that, I'm sorry. Every single bitch that this guy has ends with me going, then bring him on your show and show us how to do it. You can bitch from the sidelines, or you can get in the fucking game, Benny.
Well, he started this argument with he's pissed that Tucker Carlson gave him like a presence and a platform at all. And so that's his defense. When you go, all right, you do it. You do your aggressive interview. Well, no, because I don't want to give him a platform. I don't want to give him more space. I don't want to give him like he's somehow afraid that your viewers, I don't know where you'd get the thought that any of your supporters would, suddenly turn Fuentes.
Right.
Like, I've never thought Israel did anything questionable until I listened to this weirdly. See, I'm sorry. I still think he looks kind of gay guy going, oh.
Yeah, he's a little gay. But I will say, I have an analogy for you. And it's going to end with a joke that everybody's going to groan at and you're going to hate. But for some reason, these make me happy. Are you ready?
Okay.
Here's the analogy. I'm going to do Patrick Bet David. Think of the Republican Party or the conservative movement as a boat carrying you up a river, okay? The boat is set on fire and it sinks. Everybody has to get off the boat, and there's money and influence on the boat, and then there's people on the boat. Ben Shapiro and all of his friends ended up, they got to the riverbank, and they had all the Israeli money, and they had all the resources and all of these things. And let's say that those resources take the form of horses, right? And so Benny and all his friends end up on this side of the riverbank with all the horses. And then Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and Nick Fuentes end up on the other side of the river, but they have all the right ideas. So they're on the right side of the argument, the right side of the river, right? So what do you think Benny yells to Nick Fuentes?
Looks like I've got all the horses.
And what do you think Nick Fuentes says back to Ben Shapiro?
Looks like I'm on the right side of the river.
Oh,
halfway through, I suddenly clicked in on where that was going and coming from.
I don't care how many people are watching the show right now. It's probably low. I said because of deer hunting, and then we started with drama. We probably got shit numbers today. That one moment made everything worth it, and I'm happy to be here today.
You're welcome. I'm glad I got to be here for it.
H2BH.
Step back.
He did.
How?
Because he went. He
Then
spoke
he
to,
should explain why it was wrong. He should explain why Christian Zionists are actually wonderful people.
Tucker is very quick to self-flagellate, and he went on with Dave Smith the next day, the next week, whatever, Monday, Tuesday this week, and said, "That was stupid. I didn't mean that." He said, I'm angry at people like Lindsey Graham. I'm angry at people like Ted Cruz because he thinks they run headfirst in these conflicts and they don't think about what's going to happen to American kids.
Hold up. If we're talking about firing inside the tent, everything Lindsey Graham, okay, and I'm not a huge Lindsey Graham fan. He votes with the President of the United States 100% of the time, and Tucker spent yesterday's show excoriating him as a psychosexual death worshiper.
That's funny. I like that. Psychosexual death worshiper. Tucker has really creative ways of calling people gay sadists. That's why Tucker's way more talented and way more successful than all of us, because we would go on and be like, he's like a queer who likes to bomb people. And then people are like, oh, that's good analysis for like a rube. What does Tucker say? I think he's a psychosexual death worshiper.
He's a warmonger?
Yeah. It's like, that's good. That's way better than the thing I said. I just called him a queer. You said he's a psychosexual death worshiper. There's levels to this game, is what you find out.
Does that sound like firing outside the tent? Again, these are the questions.
I'm not offended.
Again, the question...
It's not that Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson fire inside the tent. It's they get in the tent, they turn on the light, and they go, a Jew! And then they get spooked and they fire. It's not necessarily malicious.
A Jew! Sorry, I called you gay, by the way.
Haven't you ever read that Dr. Seuss book, A Jew in the Tent?
No, I don't. I believe I think I missed that one.
Yeah, it's a good one. You should check it out. The kids will love it.
That I'm asking here. I'm not asking you to do anything, Megan.
No, I know.
Okay,
I know.
I'm not.
Our beef is not with each other.
I'm not. Okay? When I draw a line with regard to what I believe Tucker Carlson is doing to the conservative movement and what he is fomenting, that is because that is my info, and everyone can make their own decision as to whether they think that I am right or whether I am wrong and where they choose to draw the line with regard to the conservative movement. The question for me is always whether somebody's statements are forwarding moral values that I think are worthwhile. I did not get into this business for the money or for the clicks. You didn't either.
Yeah.
Why did he?
That's why your company, when you first started out, spent tens of millions of dollars on Facebook ads to force you to go viral. You dipshit. By the way, is anyone else sick noticing a Zionist, pro-Israel Jewish guy getting mad that somebody is using their influence to peddle certain policies to the American people? Wow, what an asshole.
That's kind of annoying. That seems weirdly disingenuous. I don't know. That guy must be anti-American.
You know, Ben, I got to tell you, isn't it, Ben, it's got to be very upsetting to you. It's got to be very angering for you to watch someone use their clout and use their influence to push an agenda for this country that you find to be reprehensible and against your interests. You must feel very manipulated and angry. That's all. That's all I wanted to say about that. All right, a little bit more of this and then we'll move on.
What was that?
Neither did he.
I mean, he may not have. That's fine. I certainly did not. I'm only going to speak for myself. And what that means for me is that if I see somebody breach basic moral values by having on a Nazi, and in my own view, you can take your own view, in my own view, gloss the Nazi, then I'm going to speak out about that, and I'm going to point out that there is a long pattern of him ideologically laundering terrible ideas over the course of the last 2 years, ranging from traveling to Russia to sniff the bread and explain why the Russian regime is actually wonderful, to saying last week that the Venezuelan regime of Nicolas Maduro is actually not that bad because they're being attacked by, in his words, globo homo.
Tucker's made the point. I'm like,
All right, so far, Tucker's lines that Ben's repeating are really funny.
They are certainly more interesting than what Ben's talking about. Also, I would feel like, if anything, this is the other part that weirds me out. Tucker, like, all the points that Ben just made, these are all points where Tucker went out and he goes, look, we're going to look at the established narrative and see if it's real.
Yeah.
And he stood at ground level and goes, it looks like we might not have been getting the truth. So if I take anything from all of this, I don't know how accurate all of Tucker's reporting is, but I will say, if Tucker's reporting is accurate, it seems like the media influencers, the peddlers, the people in Ben's position have almost been engaging in a collective effort to keep us vaguely misinformed.
it is funny to watch Ben have media influence, have a platform, and then bitch and whine how people are using their platform. And only when it's someone who's becoming popular for promoting the exact opposite of what Ben Shapiro's saying. He doesn't get mad at anyone else using their platform to promote anybody else, whether he agrees or disagrees. But on this one issue, it always comes back to Israel. And I'm sorry, we're allowed to wonder why that is and draw our own conclusions. Los Federales with $1 says, can we just all agree that Ben's sister has massive tits? Before we finish this comment, yes, I can agree with that.
I've never seen him. I guess I'll take your word for it.
Oh, we'll show you. Those milkers can save all the children in Gaza. Why was Aaron giving hand jobs in the bathroom at the Vikings game? That's not true. It's not true.
Neither here nor there.
It's not. Well, no, it's not true. It's not neither here nor there. It's just not the case, I would argue. Root says, I didn't like Fuentes before. This is all making me like him. They're doing it on purpose. They're making us like him, and then they're going to kill him. I call it pulling a Kirk. $1 from Veldrain says, I will never have a debate with Nick Fuentes. As a Jew, it's my job to deplatform people and cancel their bank accounts. Well, here's the problem. You already tried that with this guy.
Yeah. That's what gave him his first bump.
It's like the unkillable anti-Jew. You know what it is? Nick Fuentes got the dark hold and he's been dream walking.
Oh, no.
Can I say, I didn't hate that movie. I know I've shit on multiverse stuff because I don't get it. I didn't mind that one. That kind of entered me into the multiverse.
The only thing I had with it is like I liked our Scarlet Witch established narrative and everything, and then they're like, nah, we're gonna make her kind of evil. We're gonna take one of her darker trends and put him in there.
She lost her husband and she went fucking insane.
Yeah, dude, I didn't say it was unbelievable.
You didn't like it.
I just didn't care for it because we already killed off Black Widow. And now it's like, oh, we got to find a way to inject strong female characters. Let's make crap that sucks, like the Marvel shit, like the Miss Marvel shit or whatever. And it's like, dude, we had strong female characters. You could have just leaned on them. You had Scarlett Johansson playing Black Widow. You could have just used that.
I really like having the emotionally crippled narcissist be the hero that kills the woman at the end. Stephen Strange is a bad guy, and they did kind of like explore that in that movie.
Yeah,
I like
they
that.
showed that his ego and he's got some problems.
It's like, hey, I defeated Thanos in this universe, and like, no, Stephen, we had to murder you because you were insane. Los Federales with $1 says, Aaron, fuck, marry, kill Anna Kasparian, Megyn Kelly, or Candace Owens. Oh boy, that is tough. Wow. Wow. I like all three of them. This is really going to break my heart to do this. Fuck, marry, kill Anna Kasparian, Megyn Kelly. You do yours. I want to think.
Me?
Anna?
Right,
no, my other co-host.
Like, I hate to say this, but I'm totally effing Megyn Kelly.
Okay.
So I'm marrying Candace Owens, and then because I have to put somebody in that slot, I guess I'm killing Anna Kasparian. I just feel like I'd get along better with Candace Owens than Anna Kasparian. I don't think we'll agree as much.
I am going through every combination of this in my head, and I am okay with every single combination.
Look, there isn't really a losing role.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to kill. I'm going to fuck Anna Kasparian. I'm going to marry, and this is going to surprise you, Candace Owens. I'm going to kill Megyn Kelly. That's not I shouldn't have said that as a new sentence because that was easy to isolate. I really don't want anyone to clip that last part because it sounds like I just said I'm going to kill Megyn Kelly.
And you're not.
It's not what I'm saying. I'm not going to kill Megyn Kelly. $1 from Veldrain says Ben Shapiro intentionally slows down his rate of speech. His normal rate makes him sound like a cash register. Oh, I'm catching up in the chat now. Give me tips says, really? A mummy reference? It's still culturally relevant because they're making a fourth one.
And I hate to do this for you, but I'll give you this. That was a very creative reference. It snuck in there, and then it took a little long to deliver, but we made it work.
Ablo Pacheco with $5 says, Ben, Tucker Carlson is anti-MAGA. Me, said the never Trumper. Exactly. That's the thing about all these neocons. They were all never Trump at the beginning. They all disavowed Trump and didn't want him, both in 2016 and 2024. They didn't want him. And now, all of a sudden,
they jumped on that Trump train real quick when it seemed like the winds were changing and they had nowhere else to be. And all of these other people like Charlie Kirk and, all the other podcasts that Trump went on, like kind of had him and gave him a little bit of time. And then all of a sudden they became like, oh, no, we're big MAGA fans.
The guy can't take any sort of, hey, the things you're doing aren't all 100% amazing. Well, that's got to be a hoax. What? No, you're fucking up a little bit. Let's fix it. The cleaner says, were you also watching Martha Stewart too, you faggot? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. No. We are not going to start calling me Gravy Boat Imholt. That is not my name, Bapa Shab. I am not Gravy Boat Imholt in the least. MSO says, I bet Aaron does know the spot price for queso. Oh, shit. One of the little jars like that, I think, is $3.49. Should we do a spot check? Is it Tostitos? Is that the common one? White. I'm a white queso man. Of course I am, right? Light the lamp. Tostitos white queso jar price. It's the circle one, the little one. Let's say, I think it's $3.49 for a jar. Oh, look at that. I'm wrong. I don't know. Look at that, MSO. I was wrong. Oh no, that's the tall boy. Here's the regular one. $5.09. Here's one for $4.99. So they're about $5. Holy shit, that means the price of queso has gone up. You know what, guys? It is time to fucking riot. I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. I didn't realize that my queso had gone from $3.50 to $5. You know what, guys? I'm a Mamdani guy now. I like Zoran Mamdani. I'm very upset. Nigel Rhodes thought it was funny that I called a jar of queso a tall boy. I don't know. What do you want me to call it? A pounder? I'll start calling him a pounder of queso. Hey, Aaron, you want some queso? Yeah, but get me the little jar. Don't get me a pounder. What? What? Hold on. How much is in a tall jar of queso? If it's 16 ounces, that's awesome. I got to know. 33.2 ounces? No, that's way too much. That's not how much is in there. Oh, no, it's true. Okay, so the regular size one is 15 ounces of queso. So technically the normal one is the pounder, and the tall one is the double pounder. All right, well then it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Approachable says, fuck, the price of queso went up, which means starting next week the goal is going to be higher. I'm sorry, guys, I got to raise the goal by about $1.50 to cover the cost of queso. Sorry. I had no idea. I didn't know that was the case. I didn't know that was going on. I've been woefully ignorant of how hard the economy has been on people. Speaking of how difficult the economy has been on people, Ben Shapiro is tired of listening to us whining and bitching. Ben Shapiro is tired of listening to young people. I guess this isn't even me because I'm an old guy now. Ben Shapiro is tired of listening to Gen Z talk about how unaffordable houses are. Again, I'm not cherry picking these clips. They just show up. He says this shit. Ben Shapiro discussed affordability of housing, which for young people getting out of school now is insane. I mean, it's the worst it's ever been. This is the worst housing market to get into. If you're looking to downsize, it's aces. It's awesome. But if you're looking to just get into it, it's never been a worse time. Well, Ben Shapiro says Instead of us demanding more out of our economic policy, and instead of us demanding more out of our government to either perform or get the hell out of the way, Ben Shapiro says maybe we should just lower our standards. I really can't wait for this guy to take a fucking plane to Israel and get the hell out of here. I'm really excited for it. He's a disease. Ben Shapiro's a cancer.
Could raise a family of four on a single income, have a house, have a car, and have a middle class life.
So I think that there are a few things that are slightly a misnomer about that. So I think that number one, your grandparents, depending on when they grew up, in say the 30s, actually couldn't. I mean, your grandparents were dirt poor if they grew up in the Great Depression in the 1930s. That was a very, very bad.
Because the economy was all agricultural. Everything was rural. He's talking about his parents. He's talking about the boomers who bought $60,000 houses in the 80s that are worth $500,000, $600,000 now.
A decade.
Sure.
And then if they lived from 1941 to 45 in this country, then your grandfather was likely to be being shot at in either Europe or the Pacific. So
Ben, you know what? This is what I hate about this disingenuous asshole. You know what these guys are talking about. Stop doing this. Crowder does this too. They take the exception and pretend you're talking about the exception. No, Ben, we know during World War II, shit was hard. We got it. We know that during the Dust Bowl and the Great Depression, shit was tough. You know what they're talking about. Stop it.
those are rough years, turning those into sort of the golden age of what it was like to live in America. So when people talk about this, what they're really talking about is a fairly short period of American history that existed essentially between the end of World War II and economically the rise of the rest of the world. When the rest of the world...
No. Us millennials remember buying houses at 3.5% and a 4-bedroom, two-bathroom house, about 1,800 square feet for $139 at 3.5%. I know that. That was my first house in 2012. So 1946 to 2012. Government got involved and rigged the game for the fucking bankers, Ben. Let's stop pretending that the rest of the world forced our houses to be more expensive. Knock it off, Ben. This is bullshit rewriting of history and brainwashing. Speculators were allowed into the housing market. Ninja loans were allowed into the housing market where you didn't have to have proof of a job or income or anything else. The banks got greedy and the government guaranteed the loans. We could have had an economic policy in this country that said, if the bank doesn't feel you can afford the house, they're not going to lend you the money. But instead, the government went, hey, the more houses that sell, the better the economy looks. We can pump up this bubble, and it's good for voters, and we look good, and we'll keep our seats in Congress. So let's just guarantee the loans. I mean, it's a fucking mortgage. Who doesn't pay their mortgage, right? So it'll never fail. And then these bankers got mad greedy because why wouldn't you? If someone else is footing the bill and you can make a shitload of money, all these bankers had to do was give out the shitty mortgage, sell it to another mortgage holder, a bank, an investment firm, whatever, and then it was off their books. So basically, they played a big game of musical chairs with the economy. And that even though the banks holding the mortgages should have been the one holding the bag, it was the American taxpayer who had to pay for it. And you know what's terrible is if we would have let the motor companies fail, if we would have let the banks fail, it would have sucked for a few years. But the glorious thing about capitalism is it heals its wounds and they scar over, and you remember from the scars not to do that again. When you just bail out these companies and you prop up a fraudulent system, you never learn. And now we're in the same fraudulent system.
It was basically in ruins. And so America could send a bunch of money to Europe and then produce all the products here because literally there was no industrial base anywhere else on planet Earth. They'd all been destroyed by World War II. And then you could work one income and you could still do that. That was actually not the way that virtually all work was done in the United States ever. I mean, if you go back to the 1910s and
industry in Europe was rebuilt under the Marshall Plan. It got rebuilt. It didn't take until 2001 for Europe to get, or 2008, I'm sorry, for Europe to get back into the industrial game. Stop it, Ben. This is more of that pseudo intellectual nonsense that a lot of these guys on the right are peddling in.
1900s, when this was largely an agricultural society, mom was working on the farm, right? And when you're talking about problems of, for example, industrial labor, women were working in factories. And so this kind of brief period in American history, which was actually
1946 to about COVID. 1946 to about COVID, maybe a little bit before that. Let's go 2015. That's not a brief period, Ben. That's 70 years.
Sort of an outlier in terms of all world history. and treating that as like the norm is not true. Second of all, the housing affordability crisis, the average house in the United States is significantly nicer, significantly larger with central air. If you looked
Hey, Generation Z, don't worry. It's all right that you can't afford a home. They're really nice. What a dick thing to say. Hey, I can't afford a house, man. They're way too fucking expensive. Our monetary policy is shit. Our banking policy is shit. I can't afford this house even if they would give me the loan. Yeah, but it's really nice and has air conditioning, doesn't it? Yeah, Dick, thanks. Most houses have had that central air in them since the 90s.
House that your grandparents were living in 1952, you would say this place is a box. This place is bad. And if you look at the job that your grandparents were working in 1953 at the Ford factory, you sitting in your comfortable office, your air-conditioned office, complaining about your sciatica from your uncomfortable office chair, and then you're like, oh man, I'm really longing for those days of riveting.
Why don't you get why people hate you? Why are the ones that don't like you the irrational bigots? We're just listening to you talk. You're a really fucking hateable, dickish, mean, bad guy. You're an asshole. You've been backed by billionaires your entire fucking career. So don't talk down to these plebs who have actually earned their money. Jesus Christ, what a hateable human being. What a soulless death merchant. What a cunt.
That is not an easy job. And by the way, it's not because we shipped it overseas, because machines do it now. And so, again, this is not to say everything is perfect, because it isn't. But I think that having a false picture of the economic past leads to bad conclusions about the economic present that are not supportable by the actual data.
Dude, that's a fucking word salad. And it's full of so many misconceptions and misnomers. I mean, that was just, I'm surprised. Dude, he should get a check from hedge fund managers after that answer.
Well, you make good points. I guess what I'm saying as well is...
No, he doesn't.
If you look at the other candidates in this election that Mamdani's just won, you did not have the same level of speaking to people's concerns about some of those issues.
I agree. I mean, empathy sells in politics and also makes for very bad policy.
What? Empathy sells in politics. It also makes really bad policy. You see, to Ben, empathy isn't a real thing. You can't see what someone's going through and understand it and get it. It's just a political tool to Ben. There's so many thoughts going through my head right now that's like, I'm not the mean, bad, crazy one. Why aren't you allowed to hate people who have this much disdain for you, who are disgusted by you, who think that empathy is a political trick and not something that we, the people, actually feel for others? Jesus, Ben, you soul. No wonder this guy can smile and jack off to a fucking genocide. He doesn't feel anything. And as long as they're brown, Ben doesn't even really consider them people. But don't worry, we're the hateful ones because we criticize him. So now we go into something a little more serious. That China thing was really, Hassan getting caught in another, your fucking ideology is horse shit and you don't know what you're talking about. And then him coping and saying, actually, the police treating me like shit in a communist country totally proves my point of how bad America is. It's like, okay.
Right. Okay.
Well, this next one, there's rumors that Hassan Piker could be suing Destiny. And, I've bandied this about before. Destiny's another liberal streamer. He and Hassan have a shitload of beef going back years. I think Destiny is going through some serious either illicit or prescription drug abuse problems. I think the guy's on coke or Adderall. I think he's burning out really bad. I mean, he's got these these child porn allegations hanging over his head. He's got these lawsuits that he's facing. I mean, Destiny is a great example of why being a content creator that's terminally online has a very limited shelf life, because you create these parasocial relationships, you share way too much with people, and those people see you as content and they will burn you. I mean, Without naming names, I know someone else whose career is over. It burned out very quickly because they wanted to spend every waking moment online escaping the reality that they detested, and they ended up sharing too much stuff with too many strangers. Those strangers ended up burning them, drug problems, the whole deal, and you just burn the fuck out and you're done. Now you're the walking dead, essentially. And Destiny's going down that same road. I mean, bad shit keeps happening to Destiny, and instead of him going, maybe I should go get a gym membership, maybe I should join some kind of neighborhood group that meets every couple times a week, and I leave the internet, I leave my phone behind, I leave my computer, and I go do some of these things that might tether me to the real world. Nope.
Okay.
He's not
done any of that.
He dives deeper into the other internet. I think he pops more. It seems like Adderall to me, and I think he's using way too much of it. And he just seems determined to quote the Ultimate Warrior, take those controls into a nosedive, Hulk Hogan, and just crash the fucking thing. Yesterday,
well, at least he's not documenting it all where people can visually see if you're on. Because like one thing that you can't hide from if you're on substances, like it'll show up. Like if we're watching you constantly.
How about if a guy goes on Twitter and accuses Hassan Piker of fucking a 15-year-old?
I mean, I don't think you're on substances initially off of that, but if you are, it would make sense.
Destiny tweeted yesterday, if Hassan is going to reach this hard to say that I kickstarted Fuentes' career, then I am responsible for his career 10 times over. Also, Hassan fucked a 15-year-old when he was visiting that brothel in Berlin. That's why he doesn't like to talk about it as much now. Bro, that shit ain't allegedly.
Oh boy.
That shit ain't I believe. That shit ain't in my opinion. It seems like he says, Destiny says, I'll be careful too. Destiny says Hassan fucked a 15-year-old. That, my friends, in the business is what we call actionable. Now, here's the problem. Yeah. You're going to spend a fuckload of money trying to sue this guy. There's no guarantee that you get any money back. It'll cost you an arm and a leg. Plus, I think a lot of people see... 2 years ago, you would have said, wow, people respect Destiny and like him a lot more than Hassan. Now, I think at this point, these two both have reputations that are so badly in the shitter. Hassan might actually be more respectable than Destiny.
Yeah, because he's a piece of shit and he doesn't change his viewpoint. But I don't know. We haven't had like the unforced errors that we've had from Destiny, where he just unburdens himself to people that are like, "Whoa, dude, I was gonna do a deep dive on you, and you just gave me all the dirt. This is fucked up."
It's, and these guys, they just talk to people, and they give dirt to total strangers online. And yet nobody should ever be surprised that somebody burns them online with DMs or anything like that. Go talk to your friends on the phone. But if Hassan really wanted to fuck over Destiny, he could sue him. And it could be a spite lawsuit because Hassan has seemingly unlimited amounts of money. And he could just stick it to Destiny by suing him. Now, how do you prove you didn't fuck a 15-year-old? Well, I guess once Hassan sues him, Destiny has to provide some kind of backing.
Yeah, the burden of proof would be on Destiny
right.
with the accusation.
Right. It's not like the Candace Owens thing where it's like, well, Brigitte Macron can solve this very easily. Just show us your twat. That would be a Chad move, though. Like, that would be a real Chad move if you just went public just to own Candace Owens. You show everybody your old knocked out 60-some-year-old pussy.
Oh, God.
You're just like,
that's
Candace Owens says, and I'm not good. Oh, Candace Owens says. That's a dude. Well, then that is a Brigitte Macron. Candace Owens say that I have the cock, and I will show you right now my throbbing clit and pussy. And then Brigitte Macron on national television, on worldwide television, just throws down her pants. Her fucking lips are out for the world to see. Candace Owens is out millions of dollars and her career is
just
over.
Just flapping in the wind. Yep. Oh, dear Lord.
Just whip out your pussy like you're in a YMCA shower. And Candace Owens has to shut the fuck up forever. How about that?
That would work.
It's something. It's something. So, like,
how close are we to that clown world? I'm just curious.
I hope days. I hope we're days away from that world. Somebody saying Macron has to prove they have XY chromosomes. I think the fact that we even have to debate why or what a woman is to the point where we can't figure out how Brigitte Macron can win this lawsuit shows that the Overton window has slid way too far. Because, like, now the Olympics are saying, no more biological men competing in women's events. And everyone's cheering, like, yeah, we won. Like, did you win? It just went back to the way it's always been.
Or what's a biological, like, we're going to get people eventually being like, no, but I'm biologically a man, but this and that and the other is why it doesn't count. So I think, like, we'll come back to this. It's a temporary pause.
So Destiny, like everyone who's going to get themselves in trouble with saying crazy shit, was given a chance to backtrack publicly yesterday on Twitter. This guy, Zach, said that's quite the allegation. Okay, that's where you get to go, no, I was kidding. I was just fucking around. You don't really fuck with a 15-year-old, whatever. Destiny then writes, it's common knowledge behind the scenes. If Hassan wants to contest it, he can sue me, but he won't because truth is an absolute defense against defamation. Oh, boy.
Again, but saying that means you have some way to prove it.
You know what, though? I don't doubt that one of these retarded streamer guys like Hassan wouldn't tell someone in DMs because they think they're their buddy on Twitter.
It makes me sound super cool and awesome.
Oh, I fucked some 15. I mean, first of all, if you're bragging to somebody about that, I mean, let's give them the rope. But second, I honestly wouldn't doubt it if these retards actually go online and tell people like, oh yeah, you know what I did in Germany? Now, you can't, it's not like Germany would have to prosecute him. It's not like we can charge him with a crime.
Right.
If he did. Plus, I don't want to look this up because it always looks bad when you look this up. Age of consent, Germany.
This is going to be bad when the FBI stops.
It's 14, so he didn't break a law in Germany if he fucked a 15-year-old. How fucked up is that? That's to me, that's the worst part of this whole thing.
That's the biggest bombshell of this whole story.
That even if Hassan came out and said, yep, I fucked a 15-year-old girl when I was in Germany. Germany would be like, well, there's nothing we can do. This is totally legal here.
I feel like he'd probably say something to the effect of listing his age and the 15-year-old and why it doesn't matter and it's not illegal. That's the best you'd get out of him.
And why Trump is way worse.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Conditioner on my D. You son of a bitch. He goes, no one would be that dumb. That would be like, all right. Oh, buddy. What? When they get you, they get you. He's done his time. He's paid what he owed. He's square with the house again. 175 away from today. 36 memberships away from 400. Now, if we get that 36, I'll go until 11 today. I'd really like to get that 175 down to 100 by 9:30. You guys have been doing great today. And also 772. I mean, that's just a great number to be looking at. YouTube clearly throttling us. I love when I can prove my shit right immediately instead of waiting 5 years like with COVID. YouTube clearly throttling our shit. YouTube clearly throttling our reach. Rumble rewarding it. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. Oh, Dr. Doom says, Aaron, are you going to cover that Matt Mead being a domestic abuser? Have you seen those videos? I like it that people listen and understand when I tell them things, unlike the lip thing, that I only see what Misery Loves Clips puts on Twitter. And what this Misery Loves Clip guy put up on Twitter was, look, here's my problem in showing this and playing this. My audience has asked me about this Scarlett. They've sent in clips about this Scarlett. I keep wanting to say Johansson, Thomas or Thompson or whatever. She's like this really dirty gutter porn girl. I mean, really dirty shit. And they sent me clips of like interviews of her and stuff like that. And she's, I don't want to say she's a walking porn cliche, but like you see someone like this and you want to get them help. Like, you want to just get them into a facility, and they don't belong in the world. They don't belong out and about. They've got serious problems. And it almost looks like being in a relationship with someone like that is almost like a form of kidnapping, I feel like. I just, you look at her and you're like, she shouldn't be with anybody. Like, this person is experiencing, like a lot of women in porn. It seems like she has a lot of trauma and she has a lot of issues and a lot of problems. And you can tell just by her speech pattern, she's got either a drinking or a pill problem, in my opinion, maybe both. And it's like, and also she's in porn. You shouldn't be in a relationship with someone in porn. It's gross. It's weird. It's odd. And then Misery Loves Clips. Now, the reason I hesitate to play this is because it's I don't know the context. I don't know these people. I don't know who Matt Mead is. But I follow Misery Loves Clips on Twitter, and he posted this short video of her accusing him of throwing something at her. And then I find this part funny. What is the reason these two are fighting in his bedroom? And she's publishing it to the internet. What are the reasons? Guys, I'm not shitting you at all. Mersh. She's DMing Mersh. Now, you're dating Matt Mead. You're DMing with Mersh constantly. Personal details about your relationship, because Mersh has been talking about them, according to this Matt Mead guy. That he says she's in love with him and this and that. Now, I want to say that, and I don't want to upset anyone by saying this. If this is true, this is a massive W for Mersh coming out of that really embarrassing Ethan Ralph thing where they just beat the living shit out of Mersh for hours and hours and he was their punching bag, essentially. I got to say, if Matt Mead and this porn girl are having massive blowouts at home over Mersh DMs, that's a redemption arc. And Mersh worked at strip clubs, so Mersh speaks crazy whore. And so you know that he's being the crazy porn girl whisperer in their DMs. We know these pick-me's, we know these kind of girls. And they're probably going to Mersh's DMs and crying about how mean he is, and what a piece of shit he is, and what a terrible guy he is. And then, again, Mersh is used to dealing with strippers, so he knows how to talk to dumb whores. And he's probably saying all the right things. It's, do you guys, here, let's play this real quick, and you guys can give me your take on it, and then we'll move on. We got a lot of good stuff for you today. Hang in there. I know some of you guys think this stuff is childish, but it's my guy, Misery Loves Clips. I like that guy. Here it is. First, let's go to Redbird. Redbird with $1. Says, I knew you were soft and gay, but going outside for a few hours in this weather is enough to do that to you? Yep. Yes, sir. Aaron Brown with $2 says, auditioning to be Klinger for the MASH reboot. That's creative. That one's better than some of the others. Where is so this was from Scarlett going live for 7 minutes.
You did.
I would never touch you.
You threw water on me.
Oh no. There's a 7. See, I've only seen a 45-second clip. I didn't see a 7-minute clip. All right. Let's so she decided to hit record. This is like what Anthony Cumia's girlfriend did to her. Or did to him. Remember when Anthony Cumia's girlfriend filmed him yelling at her and screaming at her, and then she accused him of hitting her, and then he admitted to biting her, and he got all kinds of charges that he had to plead guilty to for that. Me ripping off Cumia again. So this is this scar. I have not seen this. I've only seen a 40-second thing where she accused him of throwing something at her. Let's and again, just stop. Stop dating these women. Stop being with these women. It's like taking advantage. It's really gross. It's like fucking an almost passed out girl. She has a problem. First of all, she's in porn. Something bad happened. You can't fix it. Number two, she's clearly got some kind of problem. I don't know if she does, but I feel pretty confident that I'm not going to get a call from lawyers if I say this woman has some kind of substance control issue.
Stop. I can't help it. I can't help it. I can't be hurt again.
I'm never gonna hurt you.
You did.
I would never touch you.
You threw water on me. Like, what are you trying to baptize me right now?
Yeah.
That's kind of funny. Broken clock twice a day and all that. You threw water on me. You hurt me. See, like, both of these two are going to get themselves in trouble because on one hand, this Matt Mead guy is going to probably not hit her, but do something really shitty, and she'll surreptitiously record everything. And then she'll take that piece of footage and go, oh, and she'll ratchet it up. She'll go, oh, he does this. Oh, he does this. Because a woman like this has learned that that's the only way she can get positive attention from men. Being a victim, being someone who's being hurt by someone else, because she knows there's a simp around the corner who will go, I would never treat you that way. I would treat you like the princess and the beautiful woman that you are. And then this Matt guy is a terrible human being and he's a piece of shit. And oh my God, he's terrible. Meanwhile, this guy is probably just tired of dealing with some pilled out drunk. And he's lost his fucking mind and she's DMing every Tom, Dick, and Harry and telling them all kinds of secrets about them that then get aired on podcasts and shit. But here's the deal. I don't care how much shit she's dishing on this Matt Mead guy. Get the fuck out of there. She brings nothing to your life. Find a normal one. Develop a regular relationship. Own your shit. I mean, this didn't sneak up on you. She wasn't baking cookies one day in a poodle skirt and then just all of a sudden went, oh, you're being so mean to me. She takes lots of black cock. Hey, Dad, how'd you meet Mom? Well, she was filled airtight with Nubian rods, and I just saw a glint in her eye that said, she will be mine.
I can't be baptized. I'm not fucking baptized.
All right, so who are you talking to right now?
Nobody. Why do you need to know? Because all you do is too bitch inappropriate. I had a roommate that saved my life that happened to be not what is a heterogeneous or a homogeneous.
Jesus.
Whatever. He had a boyfriend.
All right, there's
nothing wrong with being gay.
There's no coming back.
Somebody who's gay has a right to be gay as long as they fucking feel that way.
Tell me right.
Or they need money, you know. Mr. Mead, we don't know each other. I don't know you. You don't know me. Leave these fucking broads alone. What drew you to this woman? The way she took a cum shot? Stay away from these fucking hoes. What are you doing? Are you hard up? Do you need skanks? What does this add to your life? How is this benefiting you? Are you fucked up? I guess I should ask that. Maybe this Matt Mead ain't so normal.
Right now, there's no coming back from this.
There is a way of coming back from this.
No, tell me right now.
Yeah, pack your shit and get out. You two need to be away from each other.
There's none.
Oh my God. Well, no, I just don't want to hear these word FAGs thrown out left and right. That's not cool. FAGs
were one of my favorite hip hop bands in the 90s, in fairness.
And I also don't want to hear somebody monetizing off of your dead friend. I fucking feel.
You take black cum in your pussy. I shouldn't be yelling that so early in the morning. It's 6:25 for God's sake. You don't get to moralize on the words people use or what they monetize. Jesus, Matt, what are you doing?
Like, that is a piece of shit person who could take $5 out of somebody's pocket and put it in their pocket. Because that guy never had a pocket. He has a fucking grave, you piece of shit.
185 is the goal today. I just love watching porn girls moralize to people. Yeah, you know what? Save it there, Mary Magdalene. I'm good.
He's a fucking coffin. And all you fuckers do is take his fucking podcast and give him some super chats to fucking laugh. Is that funny? Is that funny? Yeah. Is that funny that he hurt your friend?
Who are you? I don't know who they're talking
Is that
about.
funny that you threw things at me and call everyone faggots? I'm leaving. I want to be gone.
Good. But that sounds, hey, you know what? Why don't we turn off the phone? Matt, why don't you help her pack bags? Or you know what, Matt? Just go in the other room or head to a bar for a while. Scarlett, trust your instincts, pack up your shit, and go. Matt, don't get trapped in that trauma bonding loop where you go, oh, but I feel bad. She has nowhere to go. There's only one place you should be concerned that she's going, and that's out your front fucking door. Let her pack her shit. Let her go. She's on a good one right now. She's doing the right thing. She's saying, I'm going to go. Matt, if this is your place, leave for a little bit. Well, don't leave. She's going to set something on fire. Let her leave.
Don't throw that at me. Do not throw that
I
at
never
me.
throw anything at you to hurt you.
You have thrown.
I'd never throw anything at you to hurt you. I mean, that's true. Sometimes you toss your partner the remote. Here you go. You pick something for us to watch today. Like with SP, it's Wives with Knives. Should I see that as a red flag? I don't know. It's cute.
Shit at me. You just threw a fucking glass of water at me with ice. Like,
Did he hit? Oh, sorry.
I don't know. I'm an American citizen. I
Said
don't
something
know.
terrible to me.
That is the greatest use of the phrase, I'm an American citizen, that I've ever heard. You threw a glass of water at me. I'm an American citizen. I'm a Article 5 free dependent.
What did I say?
You said you're a piece of shit too.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I told you not to call people shit.
Oh, don't call your boyfriend Mersh a piece
I'm
of
no
shit.
fucking
The elusive rare Mersh dub. The Mersh W. Bro, you just told, what is this, 5,000 views? You just told 5,000 people that you're jealous of Mersh. Bro. I mean, I'll tell you this. If she's DMing Mersh, you guys are done. If she's in the DMs with Mersh and she's talking nice and she's, giving up some deets and some dirt, it's over, brother. It's over.
boyfriend.
You know she's on the fuck Ethan Ralph arc right now. This is how you want to fuck Ethan Ralph, because this is how you get to fucking Ethan Ralph. And then you go on. We're gonna call it the sector circuit. You fuck a guy, you end up with Ralph, you go to Mersh, and then probably repeat the cycle. She's on the sector sex circuit.
You know who
Text
my
him
real
back. DM him back.
Don't touch me.
Did you
know
DM
who
him?
my ex-boyfriend?
Did you DM him?
My ex-boyfriend podcast.
No, I didn't. I was joking.
So funny.
She's so fucked up. Like, what do you? And then this guy, like, I don't know how you get looped into these fights. Like, what are you doing, Matt? What are you going to win? What are you going to make a great point? She's going to go, I might be being irrational here. You know what? I think I took too many pills or had too many drinks, Matt. You're being very logical while you're shouting in her face and throwing water at her.
Why is that funny? Is that funny? Just punch the fucking whore.
I didn't push you on the podcast.
Shove the whore.
Shove. By the way, Miss, it's Veterans Day. Shove a Whore Day is next Tuesday. God, it's like people don't remember America anymore.
I love the fucking people in my industry.
You love Mersh.
No, I never met
You
her.
love Mersh. He's jealous of Mersh. You're jealous of Mersh. That's an L, dog. That's an L.
That is not who I love.
Well, you don't love me.
I'm saying that I do not want to be disrespected.
You don't love me.
For my past.
You don't love me anymore.
Oh, God. Now that he's being manipulative. You don't love me anymore. Oh, these fucking pigs. You know, I mean, look, she may be a porn girl and she may have all kinds of problems, but guys like this, they're like guys who go to like storage auctions and try to find something, clean the rust and dust off it and go, wow, this is 100% brass. He thinks if he scrubs it in a tub long enough, he'll find himself a steal. He's trying to pick up a hot girl on the scrap heap because he knows she's got problems. You know what? Now I'm starting to think he picked this chick because she's got problems. And now he's doing the, you don't love me. First of all, you pull that shit, you're not a man. Second of all, that's highly manipulative behavior. Oh, this is fucking gross. Both of you two, go somewhere where you can grow up and be big kids.
I will always love you.
No, you won't.
Yes, I do. My love is not conditional. I do not love.
Let's work on that. Let's start making our love conditional. Let's start putting some conditions with our love. First of all, if you guys are just willy-nilly DMing members of the opposite sex about your life, no, you can't do that.
Conditionally, because I grew up loving people unconditionally. Love me conditionally.
But it was that dad one that never stuck, huh?
You got to be type A. You got to do everything right. Get A grades, and maybe you'll get dinner.
What?
And know what? All I could think of was like,
don't film this.
I made decisions. I take accountability for it.
Stop filming
I will
this.
be alone.
Oh, now I'm a fucking abuser. I gotta leave.
That's manipulative shit too. You sit down, you talk about this shit. This is something that this chick needs to, like, she shouldn't be in a relationship. This chick should be talking to somebody about this who will just listen to her, who, like Mersh. Who would have thought that between two guys, if you would have told me there's three people in a situation, there's a girl, there's a guy, and there's Mersh, and I end up saying, I think Mersh is probably the healthier person to talk to.
You're not an abuser.
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
am.
saying that. You're
You
not.
just made me one.
You're not.
You just
You
made
threw me on
one.
a fucking podcast.
You made me go on that.
I will never touch you. You will never touch me.
You made
You
me
will
go
never
on that.
hurt me. I love you.
You made me on that.
No, you put me on there and you
said
took it
you
away
should
from me.
go on.
Yeah, because I wanted to suspend your friend, Ski Mask, who died, who was getting monetized
And they
now.
put that-
After-
Oh, he's Ski Mask is his friend who died. Okay. I'm going to turn this off. I'm uncomfortable. I don't feel good. Guys, knock it off. Break up. Don't work on this. You only have so many chi breaths before we hit the end of the line. Just call this one. Call it a loss. This woman needs serious psychological help, and this guy is not, and this guy does too. These two are people who need to be going to see a professional and not seeing each other. They're talking about podcasts. They went on a podcast. You two don't need to be going on podcasts. What is with the guys and the girls and the relationships? I know all of these people followed the Minnesota polycule saga. I know they all did. It was huge news. Learn from me, you dumb cunts. Don't be putting the significant other on the shows and the everything, because that's not real life. And then you both trick each other into thinking that's real life. And you see people write a mean thing on a comment section, and then you all freak the fuck out. Don't. Balls Deep with $2 says, yo, FAG, yeah, you know me. Gray Duckling with $5 says, take another Xanax bar. Right? I mean, that's heading for a bad road. Those two need to cut it the fuck out. I don't know. I've never heard of Matt Mead before. I've only seen the Scarlett Thomas thing or whatever her name is because somebody sent it in one day and she was a wreck in some interview about porn and shit. Oh, Christ. That's going to end poorly. That's not going to end well. And why do these people, why does anyone publicize this shit? Dr. Doom says the last bit of the video is far worse. Oh, Jesus. In for a penny, in for a pound. I'm going to go to the last minute and then I got to be done. It's gross. It's something I shouldn't be watching.
Her saying that you have AIDS because you had.
Whoa. Okay. Never mind, Dr. Doom. I apologize. Let's go back a little.
You and I love you so much. And honestly, I don't even feel like with this whole Jenny thing, her saying that
she was nice, but her father was always kissing and touching her and her sisters. One day, Jenny wasn't on the bus to go to school. I know that, Jenny. She prayed that God would turn her into a bird so she could fly far, far, far away from here. God didn't turn Jenny into a bird that day, but he had the police come and say that she didn't have to stay there no more. She got to stay with her grandma over on Creekmore Avenue, which made me feel good because she was so close.
You had AIDS because you had sex with a porn star?
Oh, my God. It is Jenny's story. Is Scarlett Hampton, there it is, Scarlett Hampton. Is Scarlett Hampton the real-life inspiration of Robin Wright Penn's Jenny in Forrest Gump?
Do you know how fucking... I walked out. I couldn't stop crying. And then guess
Does Matt Mead play ping pong?
what?
You think I don't get that every day from fucking hundreds of people?
Oh, cool. Let's make it a competition. Your girlfriend is having a traumatic experience and obviously has serious mental health crises. But no, go ahead. Tell us how bad things are for you. That's really healthy.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
You don't have to be.
I have a blood test.
Come
I'm
on
not.
and be like, oh,
I have a, oh God. I never want my significant other to be languishing in bed and stressing and going, I have a blood test. Wait, what?
is Matt good in bed? You go, no.
Why is it any of their business?
Why
if
is it
you're-
any business? Because you have to fucking stand up for me.
I do.
Tell them my dick is good. Tell them how good my dick is. Matt, you shouldn't give a shit what a bunch of people on the internet think about your cock. That's gay, bro. It's gay.
I do by saying, what are you fucking asking me right now? That is none of your
No,
fucking
because
business.
you don't want to answer the question because you got to save your anonymity so you have fans.
No, that's not true.
Yeah.
Oh, so dude, you're insecure about dating a porn chick. Then don't date a porn chick. This is great. I don't think this is drama coverage at all. You know what I think this is? I think this is really valuable life lessons. We have a mostly male audience. I think you guys can learn from this. And if you can see parts of yourself in any part of this conversation and it makes you queasy, that's good. Now you're learning something. You're gaining skills. You're gaining tools. Because this is disgusting. You should never want to be like either of these two.
That is not true.
Exactly right.
That is not
I've dated
true.
girls who are fucking doing porn
It's
before.
not true. No.
Maybe it's time to stop now, Mac. Maybe we should not be dating the girls who are doing porn. The cope of guys who date porn stars who go, oh no, she's not cheating on me. It's her work. Right. Her work is cheating on you. So not only is she cheating on you, she cheats on you for a living. Which is so much better. Sorry, guys, OBS went down for a second.
No, that is not true. No, why? Because do I give a shit about that?
Yes.
I don't think I do.
You do, because you need...
Do you want to see my statements, my bank statements?
fallback.
I've
Oh,
already
no.
brought them up, and I have them. I'm going to show you because I support myself.
Yeah, they won. Okay?
They won.
What-
No, you letting them into your relationship whatsoever and you not being able to handle... Dude, it's very evident you can't handle being with a porn girl. Stop being with porn girls. What is it? Are they easy? Do they fall for you quickly? Does it give you some kind of ego boost? Because you can't handle the actual part where you have to deal with the issues that arise from being with a porn girl.
Our fans. I just think about the truth.
They won.
It's the truth.
He just won. So I'm going to go...
Who won? Who the fuck won?
That
Nobody.
fucking fat faggot.
The one that you
Please say
fucking did that shit for? Do you know how awesome lucky I'd be to have a fucking computer like the one you had that you just broke?
He broke a computer over Mersh? Bro, this is like the biggest. This is like, in terms of the internet world, this is a huge Mersh W. Mersh needed this. This was like Mersh's season was falling apart. Essentially, Mersh is the Vikings. And the season's falling apart, and you're playing somebody really good, and it looks bad. Might be time to start tanking for a draft pick. And all of a sudden, you pull like a 35-3 blowout out of your ass.
I'd fucking buy one and I'd fucking...
I don't care. I have enough money to buy 17,000 of them.
Wow,
amazing.
that's a lot. We should estimate Matt Mead's net worth. You can buy 17,000 really well, how much is a really I haven't bought a laptop in a long time. How much is a really expensive computer? Should we say $3,000? Let's say $3,000. That'll probably get you a nice one. And he can buy 17,000 of them. That means Matt Mead's net worth is at least $51 million. You would think the trim on his windows would be nicer. Boys, one thing we're learning from this, don't date porn girls. You know what? Here, great advice. You know what? Let's just be safe. Stay away from blondes, real or fake.
That's just like everybody else. Not me.
Where are you going?
I'm leaving.
What?
I'm leaving.
Well, don't turn your stream off.
No, do not touch me. 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 Please, Matt.
Stop it.
Please don't hurt me. Please don't hurt me.
You're leaving?
Please
Did
don't
you just
hurt
call?
me. Don't hurt me. Please don't hurt me.
And that's the end of the video. Where the fuck is my gun? Sorry. It's you shouldn't have hit me. You shouldn't cheat on me. You shouldn't treat me like shit. Old Scarlet Brand here. Oh my God, that was a ride. Thank you, Dr. Doom, for sending that one in. Jesus. That was, boys, if nothing else happened from all that, I really hope that at least you guys learned a lesson of how to and not to behave in relationships. Dr. Doom says he apparently slept with Kate Meany and she told everyone he had a tiny micropeen. Judging by this video, it's 100% true. Then stop showing girls who live on the internet your penis. This is all on you, buddy. Ray Peacock says they're like a Temu, Danny Brand, and Kumia. Brian says, did he bite her hand? Hobo says, guess what drug? Somebody said Xanax. That it might be a Xanny thing. It's possible. I was thinking maybe booze too. Could just be booze. Mr. Beat says, holy shit, I just Googled Scarlett Hampton porn and looked at her images. Her asshole is a real gaper. I see. I didn't need to know that. And you know, that's where I would empathize with this Matt Mead if he didn't come off like such a total dick. Is that's got to be difficult. That's got to be hard for your pictures of your girlfriend's gaping asshole to be on the internet. I couldn't do it, so I don't. But if you're going to, you have to be ready to let the gaping asshole comments roll off your back. Chevrolet JB says, I should ban Dr. Doom. I'm not going to, but I should. Annoyed Wawa Supervisor says, oh, she's friends with Chrissy Mayer. She was fucked up off Salt Lick. That's a horse joke. You know, the sugar in those Macintosh apples make you go crazy. Oh. Dr. Doom says, don't ban me. I'm sorry. Look, my audience and I disagree on a lot of things. I found that interesting. I found that genuinely fascinating. So, Dr. Doom, no need to apologize to me. Here's what I just ask that you like, share, and subscribe, Dr. Doom. Just like, share, spread the word. That's all I'm asking, buddy. That's all I'm asking. Pool Scam Sam says, Matt allegedly left Scarlett in Spicer. Oh. I think Ybor City would be a good spot for her. She's got friends there. She's got friends in Ybor. Fucking the best part of that clip is that fucking Night Daddy Mersh takes a big W. You know, we've been talking about this 50-year mortgage idea, and you know, my position on the 50-year mortgage is it's a terrible idea. It's just a way to allow these criminal bankers to inflate the housing market without doing anything to actually address the problem, which is these multinational corporations being able to buy up single-family homes, use their capital to jack up the price so it becomes unaffordable to the middle class. Again, you say this to regular people, they look at you like you're nuts and like you're a conspiracy theorist. But you talk to intelligent people, and this is just a fact. This is a big problem that we have, is that people call things a conspiracy when it's right in front of their eyes. It used to be, for something to be a conspiracy, you had to have no evidence, no proof, no history. You had a feeling that something secretive was happening. Now they do the shit in plain sight. They do it right in front of your face. And you go, oh, they're trying to stop young people and middle-class people from buying homes, having equity, having something to pass on their kids, developing generational wealth, and being stable. And then people go, hey, why would you say that? That's so not true. I mean, it's like being Luke Wilson in Idiocracy. You're not the smartest guy in the room, but all of these retards are drooling on each other, so you look like the king. So they asked a guy, you guys are going to love this. I got this link just for you. Prayer by 12, Prayer by 10, I think sent me this. And I thought, you guys are going to love this. It's a real estate investor's take on the 50-year mortgage. So basically like a hedge fund guy. His name is Grant Cardone. He's an equity fund manager and real estate investor. So he's the scum of the earth that does the shit, that manipulates markets, moves numbers around, doesn't create a goddamn thing, and just speculates on all of our lives. And he's going to tell us about his take on the 50-year mortgage. And what's really bothering me, what's really getting me with these fucking white-collar criminals is that they don't believe their own takes. They have their beliefs because it will allow them to make a lot of money up front right now. They know it's a disease on the future of this country, but they don't care because of the greed. And you can't survive with these parasites on your ship. So this Grant Cardone talks about the 50-year mortgage. Now, at first, my position was, look, I know it's a criminal outfit to try and just prop up the housing market on something artificial without having to actually address the problem. So, but if you don't want a 50-year mortgage, then don't get one. Here's the problem. We don't have people with financial education. We don't have people who understand money and understand finances because we don't teach it in school. And that's intentional. They intentionally keep people financially illiterate so some scumbag banker like this Grant Cardone can tell you why a 50-year mortgage is an amazing idea. And now, instead of making these bankers fly commercial, make less money, and not be able to keep this never-ending ride of increasing home prices going, let's just enslave people to a mortgage longer. Let's go and check out this. Let's watch this Grant Cardone asshole. He already just looks hateable.
Mortgage, if you're worried about it, you shouldn't be.
Oh, you guys, you good? Hey, guys, all these defaults on these homes here in 2006, 2007, if you're worried about it, you shouldn't be. You know, hey guys, if you're worried about us bunching all these shitty mortgages in with good ones and getting the bond rating agencies to rate them AAA, you shouldn't be. Don't worry about it. I know what your eyes are telling you, and I know what common sense dictates. This is the most dangerous part. These men are going to crash this fucking plane with all of us in it because they've given themselves titles that retarded people think makes them smart. Just because you know how to gimmick a system to make yourself a lot of money doesn't mean you know what's going on. This guy doesn't know what's going on. He just knows how to make money in it. This guy is not an expert. All right, this guy knows how to manipulate the markets. He doesn't understand the basics of this thing. Yeah, if you're worried about the 50-year mortgage, you shouldn't be. What? Yeah, no, I should. We absolutely should be worried about this, just like everything else. Back when the housing market crashed 20 years ago, you told us not to worry about these things. And guess what? You were wrong because we looked at it and we said, this is fucked up. We didn't need a PhD. We didn't need to be on Wall Street. We didn't need to be part of your rigged game. In fact, being outside of it made us smarter than you. We said, hey, you can gussy this all up with AAA bond ratings. You can gussy all this up with packaged mortgage-backed securities. But the fundamentals are people aren't paying their fucking bills. And I don't know a time in history where people not being able to pay their fucking bills was a good thing for the economy. Continue on, criminal.
50-year mortgage is not the problem. Okay? It could be 100 years, whether it's 30 years, 15 years, 30 years, 50 years, 40 years. Pick your number, dude. The problem's not how long the mortgage is. The problem is the investment itself. It's the asset you're putting money in, okay? Look, a house is not an asset. It's a liability. This plane has a better chance of making me money than a house ever does because it gets me someplace, right? It gets me.
This feels like brainwashing the middle class. This feels like telling poor people, home ownership, don't worry. Well, so what's your message to poor people? Buy a private jet instead? Yeah, not an option, dude. You talk about out of touch. For someone who has nothing, a home is an asset. You gain equity, A, as you pay it down, and B, if the value of the house goes up.
Someplace that gets me there fast and buys time. What does a house do? Okay, maybe over 30 or 40 or 50 years, maybe it appreciates enough to provide you and your family with equity.
Dude, mine provided me and my family with equity. Not that we use it, but like it provided me and my family with equity within 1 year. 2 years, definitely. And now that I'm 7, 8 years into this one, Jesus fucking Christ, it's ridiculous. I'm telling you, dude, these white collar guys, and call me a conspiracy theorist, call me crazy. They're trying to brainwash poor people into thinking houses are gay, dude. Don't worry. Then why are all you multinational hedge fund cocksuckers buying them all? You're sitting here telling all these working class people houses, bad investment, not a good idea. Well, you and all your white collar criminal Wall Street buddies buy them all. Why are you guys buying them if they're bad assets? I don't believe you. Button up your shirt, you lie.
At best, that's a savings account. But if you took the savings part out of it, added inflation, you'd realize, dude, it's a shitty investment. It's a liability. So don't get all cranked up about it, whether it's 30 years or 50 years or shit. They could do 100 years. Okay.
This guy is so part of the problem. This guy is so part of the fucking problem. He is trying to squeeze you out of a game that he wants he and his buddies to run.
It's just a place to live. Don't think that it's going to be a place that makes you money, because it probably won't. And if you do make money on your house, it's because you got lucky.
Oh, see, guys, because all of us are about to say the thing to him that I said to him. Hey, well, actually, my house, and everyone else in my generation that bought theirs in 2009, 2012, up to about 2020, we're all swimming in equity. Oh, well, then you just got lucky. Really? We all just got lucky. So so that's an interesting way to debate a point. If a bunch of people come to you and say, hey, bro, by the way, I don't want my real estate investor guy calling me bro. Sir would be nice. But I would prefer massa, but we don't need to get into that today. All these people are going to come to him and go, actually, what you're saying is full of shit, and I have documentation right here in my mortgage statement. And he'll go, oh, well, then you just got lucky. Really? The majority of people showing you this, we're all lucky. When you and your firms stop buying single family homes, I'll believe your bullshit. Guys, you got to break through the wall on this stuff. These people aren't your friends. These are white collar fucking criminals, and we need to do something about this.
You can say I'm wrong. You can hate on me. Oh, my
Deal.
God, it's the American dream. Everybody should buy a house. Everybody should own a house.
You have to live somewhere, cocksucker, and it's better to have equity in a home than be paying rent and you have nothing to show for it at the end. You just spent money. God, what a fucking dick. And people are going to believe this because, he wears fancy clothes and he's flying on a plane. Because he's a criminal who rigged the system. He made bets. He's a gambler.
Oh my God, everybody should be entitled to own a home. You're never going to own it. Okay, you go.
Hey, strawman creator. Hey, pyromaniac in a field of strawman. Nobody was saying you're entitled to own a home. But you either have to buy a home or rent a home. And having the equity that when you die, first of all, your home, for most of us regular Americans, our home is not something for us. I wonder if this guy has kids. Maybe he doesn't. It's not something for us to get rich on. It's something so when we die, my kids can sell it and they can have a 6-figure payday right off the bat as soon as I die. So even if, say, I spend every cash asset, every investment, burn everything that's worth any money that I have, I've got who knows with this house, maybe a $500,000 investment by the time it's all said and done, $500,000 asset that they can put in their pocket and help their family immensely, help them retire early. That's what it's for, dick. This shit works on weak-minded people.
Go pay cash for that house right now today. Go pay $440,000 for that little house that looks just like that other house in the same neighborhood.
Yeah, it's called comps, dick. And not only that, yeah, paying the prices you pay now, that's going to suck. Why? Because you and all your white-collar criminal friends have jacked up the housing prices. You're trying to push us out of the market. You're trying to fuck us out of it because you know the one reason we should be buying houses is because of that long-term equity and something to leave to our kids. You're trying to purposely overinflate the market to price out middle-class people and make it non-advantageous. And you'll just dump it to a Chinese firm anyway when you're ready to get rid of it. And you still have property taxes? Yeah, guess what? Those property taxes every year are going to be cheaper than your rent.
You still have property taxes. You still have maintenance. You got upkeep. You got furniture. You got issues. And it never stops.
Hey, don't worry, guys. Just go live in a yurt. You'll be fine. That's what he wants. I mean, honestly, this is some Soros-level shit. They want us living in yurts and eating bugs while they live in shit luxury.
A roof that's going to go bad, a gutters that are going to go bad, siding that's going to have to be painted, and it's endless. And heaven forbid that the major employer in your market leaves.
Do you see what he's doing, right?
And the next thing you know, your house isn't even worth what you paid for.
You see what this guy's doing.
The 50-year mortgage is not the issue. The 50-year mortgage is simply going to make it about $300 less a month.
You see what he's doing.
$500,000.
He's trying to rhetorically now squeeze you out of the market so he and his friends can buy the houses. This is evil. These people are evil. These are bad guys. And the worst part is, I don't even think they consider it.
50 years drops the payment about $300. Again, that's not the issue. Okay? You shouldn't be investing in a home. You shouldn't be buying a home. Okay.
Hey, you're the fund that you run or the fund that you work for, do you guys have any real estate holdings? Are you guys still acquiring real estate holdings? I bet not, right? Because it's a stupid investment. But all of you day laborers, don't buy homes. It's not worth it.
And particularly on the way up. If you haven't accumulated your wealth yet, what you should be doing is investing your money in your business, in your self-improvement.
Yeah, your business, because all of you just have a business, right? Just go ahead and listen to this out-of-touch, creepy, game-rigging retard.
Things that can go up in value. You should be investing that money that you'd use for a down payment. Invest that into something that can grow you, grow your business, or maybe you invest in somebody else's business because you believe in the player, you believe in the founder.
Yeah, go give your buddy money to build a car wash. Those always work out. Your buddy wants to buy a car wash and a convenience store. Invest in that. It'll pay you shitloads of money. But don't worry. I mean, when it closes down, as those businesses often do, your house doesn't go out of business unless you stop paying the bill. You invest in your buddy's new bar and restaurant idea that he has in a city that has 1 million bars, and it goes under. Guess what? You don't get your fucking money back. You lose it. God. The whole point of buying a home, you know the saying, buy land, they're not making any more of it.
You believe in the direction of the company. There's a lot of...
This guy has been locked in a fraudulent system for so long that he actually believes in it.
Full of great stocks out there that'll always return you more money than your house will. God bless, be great. 50.
All right, then what? Then what? Where you live? Where are you going to live, buddy? Where are you going to live? You got advice for that one? I hope people are ripping him apart. Boomer who bought house in Palo Alto for $25,000 in the 70s just sold it for $4 million. Hold my beer, someone says. Population, and then this guy responds, population 67,000, 11% gain per year. If you would have invested the same money in Apple stock, it'd be worth $67 million. Hold my door and grab my bag. So in the 70s, that guy was supposed to know that these guys in Cupertino in their parents' basement were going to be the biggest company in the world someday. Yeah, Grant, all of this makes sense if we have time machines. You're absolutely right. This guy, Jamal Green, father, real estate broker, serial investor, philanthropist, politically independent, doing my part to make a better world. So a guy that gives a shit. His name's Jamal Green. He says, we need to have a debate on this topic, my friend. I firmly disagree. To which Grant Cardone says, why should we have a debate? He's such an arrogant cunt. This person writes, did you ever think that it is you, Grant Cardone, who made the wrong investments and or chose the wrong places to invest in? I happen to know a lot of people that made profitable returns on their home purchases, so maybe you are just really bad at this. To which he'd say, well, those people just got lucky. Says the guy whose whole wealth was built on buying properties. Exactly. All of these cocksuckers bought properties. They turned them into profits. It's on their balance sheets. They want middle-class people to stop buying homes because you know what middle-class people do with their homes? They give the money to their children after they die. You know what these hedge fund cocksuckers do? They keep trading it between each other. They keep trading big packages with these properties involved to each other, passing it along, making commissions on the sales. They keep turning this money over and over again, and it's all numbers on a computer screen, and it will one day, when the music stops, crash the whole fucking world economy again. But if you let middle-class people buy these homes, equity slowly goes up. When they die, they leave something to their children. Middle-class people then in the next generation become upwardly mobile. We didn't like that. That was responsible 6 to 8% per year growth. We didn't like that. We wanted to make all the money as fast as we could. Consequences be damned. I can safely say after watching that clip that Grant Cardone is an asshole. Trucker 18-Wheeler says, this is why I like the Dave Ramsey approach. I mean, I'll take Dave Ramsey over these finance bros, 100%. But Dave Ramsey also, you know what? Dave Ramsey is better than those guys. Let's just leave it at that. I think Dave Ramsey is smarter than those. Everybody, you know, if we want to nitpick everybody's opinion, I guess I could sit here and do that. But Dave Ramsey's better. You know what it is? He's more honest to working people than that guy is. What really upsets me about that Grant Cardone guy is that he's manipulating poor and working class people. And those are people who need sound financial advice more than anybody else. Red Fox Mad with $5. Says, God damn, he's still on the pools today. He says, who remembers communal showers with no dividers, like those in old school locker rooms or some European hotels? Every locker room used to be set up that way. Pole group showers were very popular. All right, you miss being able to look at dicks in the shower. Here's my deal. They don't even have communal showers in jail anymore. I showered by myself, and I was so sad. I was so sad. It's terrible. Scousko says Gino and Kiki sweeping for Meade, Kevin Brennan, and Aaron Chrissy. The less I know about that, the better. That was just really fucking weird. Somebody said Grant Cardone is a Scientologist. Oh, well, that tells you all you need to know. Los Federales with $1 says this is ridiculous. On a $400,000 mortgage with an interest rate of, let's say, 3.5%, total interest paid over 50 years, $447,000. It's more than the mortgage. So unless that house is worth $900,000 after 50 years, you lost money on it. $2 from Joey Caravello says Grant Cardone is a Scientologist. You can't believe a word this fuck says. All right, good. Then as I get older, this up here gets way sharper. Way sharper. Dr. Doom says walking around his private plane, tosser. Bet you he's on the Epstein list, says Dr. Doom. I don't know. Let's get that list. Hey, there's only one way to find out. Let's get that list released, huh? Danger Bear Wolf Turtle says, what? It loses value? Homes don't. Yeah, this guy's clearly trying to brainwash the middle class into not buying homes so that he and his buddies can buy them and keep trading them between each other. They're inventing money out of thin air. It's a really unhealthy system. My sister is buying up houses to rent out. She's up to 3, says Chevrolet JB. I have a buddy who's doing the same thing, very successful with it. He's buying up houses, he's renting them out, and he fixes them up, and he does all the work. He's worked really hard on it. I'm really proud of him, happy for him. Coltrane says, I've acquired $150K in home value on mine in 10 years and sitting on $200K versus what I owe left on it. Yes, similar situation here. God damn, my equity 200 something in this one. So, I mean, this guy's saying, this guy's theory is all based on you can choose not to live somewhere. He's like, oh, well, the home, it's like this and it's like that. It's like, okay, yeah, motherfucker, they're still going to have to pay to live in something. What are they going to do? You're going to let them pitch a tent in your front yard? Creepy asshole. I guess if they praise Zeno, you will. Elron's proud of you. Sam Show says we should threaten this guy so he panics and spends more of his money. Don't threaten Grant Cardone. McBuster says we're doomed. Buy some methylene blue. Buy methylene blue. Eagle of America says the steel toe 50-year goal. That's the idea. $2 from $1 from Abel Graham. He says in Aguas Calientes, Peru, there are 70-year-old women with their tits out daily at the hot springs. Thanks for ruining my day. Tim Finman says none of it really matters. $2 from Tim. If the money stays fake, backed by nothing, letting government and core and people build fake wealth on debt and bullshit, not wages, markets, or costs, and the Fed abolish the IRS and make money real. Even the debt isn't real. Redbird with $1 says the party's not willing to say is, even if you somehow don't see a penny out of it, your children will see a massive increase in living standards. That's the part he doesn't want to happen. If you buy your home and you hold it your whole life and you never sell it, this asshole and his firm don't get a piece of the action, and all of that money and that wealth goes to your children. Meanwhile, if you don't buy homes, he and his buddies, like I said, can keep trading these assets, getting a commission on the sale, and meanwhile the house just stays some, blank space on his portfolio. $1 from Abel Graham says, I hope this dude crashes his faggoty jet into his $1 million hangar. It's okay to hope for that. It's okay to wish that. Aussie Mark says, Aaron, you won't make it back to YouTube exposing these assholes like that. I know. I'd probably get a made-up strike for that one. Redbird with $1 says, I don't feel a lot of sympathy for people stupid enough to fall for this. You can't claim lack of access to information. An afternoon watching YouTube would make sure you don't get completely fucked. Maybe, but also, when you have a public education system that the taxpayers have to give money to in order to educate the public, you'd think your government should have a vested interest in educating the people on finance and borrowing and budgeting and income and expense and things like that. I know you're laughing. That's the point. But if we would teach people about this shit, we wouldn't be in a lot of the trouble we're in. That's the thing. A lot of these people are all Ponzi schemers. Like that Grant Cardone. These people are all rip-off artists and con artists and pyramid schemers. It's just that we've made it legal because we never taught anybody how this shit works. So they just drool and go, they get frustrated and they go, we'll let Grant Cardone run it. And Grant Cardone is an evil man. He's a sociopath, and they run amok in situations like this. Los Federales says, I have $1.8 million between two properties. I live in one and rent the other, building generational wealth for my two daughters. All this just so my daughters have something to survive when I pass. I mean, listen to me. That's your legacy. That's all that survives you. What you leave to your children, all this other stuff, it's all bullshit that we jack each other off with. Once you die, you're fucking gone and you leave no footprint. The only footprint you leave behind is how you treated your family, what you left to your family, and what you did for your children. They will remember you. They will tell stories about you. They will keep your spirit alive. My grandmother has been dead for 20 years, 21, 22 years. And we still talk about her as if she's still here. We still tell stories about her as if she's still here. Some of them are her using the N-word, but it was a different time. That's what your legacy is. So, yes, Los Federales, brilliant, perfect. 191 Redbird with $1 says it's all part of the plan. I got to scroll down. I'm behind it. Guys, I'm hopelessly behind in the chat, and I apologize for that. Red Fox Mad with $5 says it's all part of the plan. There we go. Papa Shab says, why did you skip Zen Man's dono? Oh, shit. Don't tell me that I skipped a donation. Zen Man, now you're making me scroll up. What if he didn't? You guys, this is something you could do to me. You could tell me someone donated and they didn't. Zen Man with $1 says, how much stock does this guy have in BlackRock or Vanguard? Well, let's go back to Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone. American businessman, 10 times your business, your income, and life. GrantCardone.com. Financial influencer. Ew. That's fucking gay. Hey, you guys ready to hear why you're not rich? You want Grant Cardone to tell you why you're not rich?
America, born in this country, and you ain't rich, you just don't want it. You must be turning it away. I don't care if you're a fireman, a policeman, a nurse, you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, construction worker, a roofer, HVAC. If you're not getting rich in America, it's because you don't want to get rich, because it's here, man. Got plenty of opportunities. You're white. You're allowed in any room. To the other races, you guys should also get rich, because there's proof and validation of too many people that come here that don't look like me that actually get rich. If you're white.
It's so simple with these guys. Isn't it amazing? Oh, hey, Grant, are those poor immigrants allowed to trade on the same trading floors that you're allowed to, or do you have to raise a certain amount of capital to have access to a lot of those trading mechanisms? Oh, so it's a rigged game. But why don't they just do exactly what you do? By the way, who's Grant Cardone backed by? Grant Cardone, if you're not rich, you just don't want to. Oh, so you just, when you were like 15, you were tooling around and you just invested in the right stocks and they all hit and you just kept investing. You didn't get any kind of backing or funding or anything like that. Grant Cardone Business. What's his fund? What's his fund called? Cardone Capital, the perfect hedge. Yeah, fucking hedge fund manager. High management fees, interest-only loans. So this guy's a fucking scam artist. So this guy just tells poor people who watched a lot of MTV Cribs, like, yeah, you should just be rich. You're not rich. You should. It's all your fault. Here's an interest-only loan where you never pay down the principal. You should go invest it. How should I invest it, Grant? Well, if you give me $35,000, I'll give you my where to put your money class. This guy's a fucking scam artist. He doesn't produce a goddamn thing. He's never made a widget in his life. He's made a career out of moving numbers around on a computer screen and scamming poor people. Fuck him. When the revolution comes, he can be first. Joey Caravello with $2 says, did your grandma ever sing 30 Point Buck? No, she would have killed you for doing it. Bong Time says, I really hope this imbecile took the COVID-19 vaccine and many booster shots. Dr. Doom says, he's definitely investing in adrenochrome. Annoyed Wawa Supervisor says, Grant doesn't invest in stocks. He literally just buys multifamily properties and sells courses to douchebags. I fucking knew it. I knew it. I was making a joke about the $35,000. Grant Cardone is an asshole. I'm going to write that down. We're clipping this segment. We're calling it Grant Cardone is an asshole. Grant Cardone. Thank you, Prayer by 10, for sending us that. Boy, do I gotta be honest, guys. I don't know about you. I fucking hate that guy. Bong Time in the chat. He's being very funny. I like him. Get him a membership, please. You guys did a great job that first hour. 210 away from today's goal. I appreciate it. Let's bring Johnny in here. Where's my Geno tab? There it is. Hey, buddy.
Hey, how you doing? I guess that Grant Cardone guy, I was listening before I got in here. I guess he hasn't heard, there's a famous quote. I remember it from a movie, obviously, but Baron Rothschild once said, when there's blood on the streets, buy property. So like the general rule is like when it's available and you can get it, like even if like everyone else just got murdered, pick up that house. Right. So it's weird. He's all like, hey, you know what? These are bad investments. These are bad for you. I was wondering the whole time, is like, so where am I supposed to live if I'm not buying a home? Which that's
just it. Yeah. Cause he's like,
as someone who's looking into that right now, it's so difficult to do because so many of them are picked up and rented and you don't know if the renter is a corporation or a private person. It's just, they're all being rented.
Or Grant Cardone.
Or Grant Cardone and his assholes. Well, I can't afford the houses he buys.
Yeah, that's
I'd
just
have to
it.
sell some schmucks a course on how to. You know what I should do? I should start going around and telling people how to use their legs more. If you're not walking, it's because you're not trying.
Well, and that's the thing with guys like him. He makes his bones off these multifamily properties and then convinces working class people not to buy homes. Why? Because they're competition for what he does.
He's literally just trying to slam the door shut behind him.
Yes, absolutely. And as far as the renting thing, he's like, oh, after you pay your mortgage, after your house is paid off, you still pay property taxes. Property taxes at $3,500 a year is a fuck of a lot cheaper than
any sort of rent.
Yeah. Grant Cardone's gay. People are like, do you think he's Jewish? It doesn't matter. Grant Cardone's one of these guys where even if he's not a Jew, he's Jewish still.
He's a dick.
That's what I just said.
Oh.
Jesus.
Sorry.
I mean.
My bad. You're right. I forgot those were synonyms.
If you are Jewish and don't like me. Oh, God, Grant Cardone has a thing about Jews. Oh, don't make me like him. Oh, God, he's got one called Why Are Jewish People So Good With Money? Let's hear it. This is about to be a blood libel? Let's hear it. Come on, Grant, wow us with your...
How do you think Jewish people are so good with money?
For about 1,000...
They steal from Goyim. They rip people off. They charged interest. Usury was forbidden for a reason, and then they came in and said, let's corner the market on it.
Years, Jewish people were under restrictions about owning property in Europe, and they couldn't, and they fulfilled the role that was left to them was as
property's bad. He said that for years Jewish people were under restrictions and unable to own property in Europe.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, well, don't worry. I'm saying, don't worry. Grant Cardone thinks owning property is bad.
So this guy owns multifamily homes. So that means when he's giving people advice, owning multifamily homes is bad. Rent from me. God, this guy, fuck. I can't believe I didn't know this guy existed. He's a piece of shit. He's one of the guys that when that Trevor Moore song comes to reality, he can be one of the first ones.
Oh, boy.
Intermediaries on cash because earning interest in a lot of religions, including Christianity, for hundreds and hundreds of years, you weren't allowed.
To earn it or pay it?
To earn it. Guess what? If you're not getting interest on your money, how much money are you going to lend out? And Muslims can take interest. Right. Christians have managed to overcome that deficiency with the passage of time.
Lloyd Blankfein, a Jew. Guys, this is what they think of you if you're a Christian. This is what they fucking think of you. This is why I get so angry. You can call me anti-Semitic. You can call me whatever you want. I get offended when they talk about me this way. I'm sorry. If it makes me
Christians just overcame it and now they're allowed to accrue interest?
Not overcame it. Overcame that deficiency. So us saying, hey, you know what I'd like to not do to my neighbor? Bury them in debt pretending I'm doing a good deed for them. I'd like to not do that to my neighbor. That's a deficiency. So us not wanting to fuck our neighbor and bury them in debt, that was a deficiency that we had. But don't worry, we overcame it. Meaning, we know this from listening to Mark Levin and Ben Shapiro. You're really smart if you agree with them. You're evil if you don't. There is no middle ground with these fucking people. So when Lloyd Blankfein goes in there and goes, Christians overcame this deficiency to usury. You know, I'm starting to learn as I get older that us Christians have a lot more in common with Muslims. That the premise of our faith and the premise of our religion, there was this wedge driven between us after 9/11 and by certain biases. But Muslims and Christians have a lot more in common because Muslims can't take on interest. It's not allowed. And in Christianity, you're not supposed to either.
So you're saying that there were other groups that believed taking on interest was okay, and we finally turned to that way of thinking.
Right. We overcame our deficiency.
And look how well it's worked for us.
We've buried our country in debt. We've made our population financially illiterate by not teaching them basic financial. You know, my first wife, God bless her, mother of my children, wonderful person. You know that when we bought our first house, she didn't know what interest was.
Oh, dear Lord.
I told her about interest rates are amazing. We're getting our first house like 3.5%. And she goes, what's interest? I go, well, when the bank loans you money, you pay them a certain fee so that they can make money. She goes, oh, I thought the bank just loaned you money and you paid them back. And I'm like, no. So, and by the way, I'm not making fun of her either, because there's a shitload of people like that. Yeah, there's people in their 20s who have already borrowed money for school who don't understand interest because they were never taught. It's almost like we're at the point where we have to pick shotgun or handgun, which one you want. But he's right. I mean, oh, and by the way, it is interesting. Trump wants to, it's amazing what all roads lead back to. Like, just follow the money and see who benefits from what Trump is doing. And you'll see who he's serving. Why? I want to see if anyone in the chat gets this. Why does Trump want to clamp down on the student visas? Why doesn't Trump want to bring in students? What are students doing right now that he doesn't want to bring more of these young foreign? Remember, we're not talented. We're not very smart, us Americans. Bunch of dum-dums, quite frankly. So we got to bring all these foreign workers and foreign students in there. Why does Trump want to limit the foreign students that are coming in here? Let's go to our chat. Let's see if you guys, no, not because they're all fake and gay. That's not it. It's not fake and gay. Paying attention. We're not going to protest, says Zen Man. Okay. Those foreign students they bring in, what are those foreign students protesting? Why is Trump all of a sudden, he says we're not talented, we're not smart. Well, then you should want to bring in all these smart young people so they can do all these jobs. Why? Really? There you go. Trucker 18-wheeler says all of them are against Israel. Yes, they all protest Israel. Like, honestly, they're all flying Palestinian flags. They're all, encouraging, globalize the Intifada. Which, by the way, just means rebellion. Intifada is not like some crazy, evil terrorist word. Intifada just literally means rebellion against Israel in this case. Yeah. If you bring in foreign students, they all think Israel is evil. And Trump's donors and Trump supporters don't want him bringing in people like that. Hulkamash Baby with $1 says, isn't NASA proof we need H-1B visas? We couldn't do it on our own. Yeah, JD, you could have picked a better example that wasn't, something built by Nazis. Thank you. Dub says, I don't know who made V1. Werner von Braun. And Albert Speer, the head of armaments for the Third Reich. The V3 could have destroyed London. It was 90% or close to it complete before bombed. I saw what the V3 rocket did. The Soviets had it in Command and Conquer Red Alert 2. I think that's it. Cleaner says, I call for rebellion onto Aaron for not reading the chat. Well, guess what? We're at 245 today. Let's knock that number down, and I'll be glad to hang out with you guys. I appreciate it. Look, we had a lot of tech issues at the beginning of the show. YouTube is bound and determined to kill us, so I highly encourage you guys to go to Rumble, which it looks like you are today. We're a little over 500. It's going to be a lot lower today just because of the tech issues at first. You lose a lot of people when that shit happens. But we were at 800 yesterday. We bring back YouTube, and YouTube just strangles us, and unless you actively go to our channel, you're not ever going to see us on YouTube. They hate our guts, and it's not going to get better after this. But Rumble loves us. Rumble treats us very well. So keep hitting like, keep hitting subscribe, keep hitting follow. Yeah, I'll hang out with the chat, absolutely. But look, today's our final day of the week. We're 245 away. It's we need a win for the toe, and then we've got a perfect week. It's exciting. It's exciting stuff. Help us out. All right, so here's the last thing I have on H-1B visas today. Then we'll go to a little more lighthearted stuff before we get into Epstein. I'm not gonna trauma blast you today. But here's Ben Shapiro. Guys, you're going to shit your pants when you find out what side of the H-1B visa debate Ben Shapiro is on. It's wild. Ben Shapiro is for H-1B visas. And in classic Ben, here's a tell I've discovered from my years of studying Ben Shapiro. Here's a tell that Ben has. When Ben doesn't have a list of facts and figures, and facts don't care about your feelings, to bludgeon you over the head with, you get insulted a lot. You know, if Ben is using a lot of ad hominems and a lot of personal attacks, Ben is really insecure about his position. Now, I use a lot of ad hominems and I use a lot of personal attacks, but that's just because I'm an insulting guy. I'm a dick. Ben Shapiro likes to pretend he's not a dick. Ben Shapiro is kind of like a cornered snake. You know, if he feels threatened or he feels like he's not, getting the upper hand, Ben's going to strike. And he's going to call you all kinds of names. Let's see how Ben Shapiro handles the H-1B visa issue.
There are, in fact, certain positions in the United States that require a level of expertise that may not be reachable in the numbers that are currently being churned out by American universities.
I watched a video where an Indian village gets together once a year, collects cow shit, and throws it at each other. I'm sorry, Ben. You're not going to convince me that we can't outwork these people.
That is a shortcoming of our educational system, and it is a problem. And so you can say we should up our game, educate. I agree. We should absolutely.
And by the way, they just get away with saying this shit. Show me some facts. Show me some figures. Show me a chart. They keep saying, oh, they're just not smart enough. Statistically, show me. Because I can show you this. H-1B visas. Average salary of H-1B visa immigrant versus other entry-level jobs in tech of American citizens. 30% lower. Fact, look it up. 70% of H-1B visas coming from India because they work cheaper. Fact, look it up. But Ben sits here, President Trump sits here, and they all repeat the same talking point. Iraq had weapons of mass destruction. I'm sorry. American citizens aren't smart enough and our colleges aren't cranking out talented enough people. Show me, because I'm skeptical of your claim.
Absolutely up our game educationally. But in the meantime, if you do not bring in the labor supply, particularly to tech, tech will go find the labor supply. And so what you'll end up with is an office that was employing 30 Americans and 3 H-1B visa people. If the costs grow too high, simply moving to another country where they hire 30 Indians and 0 Americans.
Fucking do it then. Go ahead. When is this country going to stop bending over and pretending we're not the fucking global superpower that we are? Go ahead. You want to go do tech in Mumbai? Go do tech in Mumbai. I fucking dare. We're going to sell it to you anyway. We're going to give away all the American jobs to people who live in Mumbai. At least go over there and go employ them there. Go have your headquarters stink like shit in a dirty city. Go ahead. That's why American workers don't get hired, because we don't pull our fuck you card out enough. And these companies go, well, we could just go to India. I fucking dare you. I dare you to go to India. Your first big inhale in the streets and you'll come running back. And then we'll talk.
Right. This is the problem with the reason companies offshore is not because it's easy or fun to simply move your company somewhere else. It's because the labor cost becomes so prohibitive in the United States that companies move away.
Boy, I wish we had an America First president who would say, I don't know, slap tariffs on places that did that. How about that? All these companies, they want the access to the number one market in the world, which is America. But they don't want to pay the cost to play with the boss. Well, let's make them pay the cost. Come to America, hire American workers. Well, no, we don't want to. We want access. We want to use you. We want to suck your life's blood out, but we don't want you to benefit from it. Okay, that's cool. Where are you going to be? Well, we're going to be in India. All right, 180% tariffs on Indian tech goods and tech work. How's that? Well, come on. You can't do that. Fuck, I can't. Stay here. All right, well, what are you going to do with the H-1B visa program? I'm going to take a big, wet, sloppy shit on it. How's that? Fuck you. We're America. Play by our rules.
And you can try to tariff them back, but all that does is artificially raise the price on Americans. Again, we're talking about...
For a little bit until they feel the pain and they come work with us.
Affordability. There are trade-offs in economics. Autarky comes with the fun feeling that everybody in America is making American product. It comes with the very large downside that your products are economically inefficient, they don't work as well, and you're not globally competitive.
Yeah, so why try? Why throw your weight around? Why point out that you're the deepest pockets in the restaurant? I mean, just take the slop they feed you. Don't fight back. Boy, Ben really doesn't sound like a guy who's patriotic to this nation, does he? Ben just sounds like a guy who maybe his company is run by billionaire tech guys. And that maybe Ben's feeding you a load of horse shit while pretending to be on your side. So what, Ben, your message is what? We should root for the tech billionaires? Let's root for the tech billionaires while they take our jobs away from us.
All policies have trade-offs. It is also better for the American people, broadly speaking, to bring in the best from other countries. Now, how do you determine the best?
Cheap. Come on, Ben. Be honest. Cheap. That's what the best is, according to tech and every business. And I can't blame them for that, but don't let them do it. How do you determine the best? Are you going to give me this bullshit? Is this the same bullshit you feed us when you say, well, American college graduates will just start cranking out talented ones? What? What's your proof of that? My own asshole. Oh, well, how do we determine the best workers to come from overseas? Let me guess, same asshole? I'm guessing we're going to get the same asshole.
You can make, again, the case. The H-1B visa program is fatally flawed. It's not bringing in enough of the best. I will point out that many of our best founders in the United States are either immigrants or the children of immigrants who came in on H-1B visas or who came in just generally without an H-1B visa through other forms of legal immigration.
Okay, name them.
As students.
Name them.
And the reality is that maybe our screening procedures should be different, but we need to see specifics on what the screening procedures you're applying are.
Why? You have not given us one specific on your horse shit. Here's my specific. Americans don't get screwed out. Careful, Aaron. Americans don't get screwed out of jobs so that they can bring someone else who doesn't belong here and pay him 30% less and fuck over our citizens while housing prices somehow continue to go up. There. Now show me your shit.
That would allow for there to be, for example, an Elon Musk American citizen creating tens of thousands of jobs. Or the head of Google, Sundar Pichai, creating tens of thousands of jobs. Or the head of Microsoft, Satya Nadella, creating tens of thousands of jobs.
I don't care if there's some Indian at the head of that program. Employ American workers or we're not going to be so fun to work with. We're getting to the point here, guys. You can't be for billionaires and for the people. It doesn't work anymore. The gap is too big. The interests are too different. If you're for billionaires, you have to fuck over the working class in America. Because being for billionaires, what do they need? Cheap labor. You can't get it here. So I have to be against them. This sounds like I'm writing a children's book. Hassan went to China. This is like, you know how Muslims have to go on a pilgrimage to Mecca? I think all communists have to go to China once in their life. So, you know, Hassan Piker shits on America all the time. It's fine to shit on America. We've got our problems. That's okay.
Right.
It's Hassan Piker's attitude towards well, what else are you going to do? Like his alternate plan B is socialism and communism. He thinks it's a great idea, while meanwhile he was raised a billionaire and he is a millionaire right now. So the whole communism, socialism thing, it kind of seems like champagne socialism. So Hassan, being a guy, I'll give him credit, puts his money where his mouth is. He goes to China. And he goes to China to prove to us stupid Americans that China, hey, they're not some dystopian authoritarian commie regime. Communism is fine. So Hassan Piker decided to go start filming in Tiananmen Square.
How did that go for him?
They don't like that in China. They don't like foreigners filming in Tiananmen Square. Not one bit.
I mean, he hasn't noticed how all of the Asian hopping nuisance streamers, not a single one has tried China.
No.
Like, they've all skirted that, and it's a huge territory. They didn't hit a single piece of it. None of it.
Johnny
Weird.
Somali hasn't streamed from Tiananmen Square. And Johnny Somali will piss on a Korean girl's face on stream. So I don't know if that's one of the things he's charged with.
So what happened to him? Did they just take his phone, or?
Well, here we go. We got video of that. So we got 2 videos for Hassan and then a potential lawsuit he's filing against Destiny. We have that. We got a lot of Hassan juice.
Oh, boy.
I probably could have said that better. Got a lot of Hassan juice.
Yeah.
That's not. Anyway.
I think I subconsciously heard news just to not hear that. And then.
So we have Hassan at Tiananmen Square trying to prove to us Americans that China rocks. And then we have his cope afterwards, because one thing I love and adore about Hassan Piker, non-ironically, is this asshole's undefeated. He's never been wrong. You know, Hassan Piker's never had to take the L. Everyone else is just stupid. They don't get it. They don't understand. I mean, I think they might make him a new co-host on This Little Piggy. I mean, he's so adept at it. So Hassan goes to China. He gets stopped in Tiananmen Square. And afterwards, he has to, you know, everyone's kind of gloating like, oh, we told you, Hassan, they're communists, they're fascists too, and blah, blah, blah. And he's gonna rationalize all this. But here we go. Hassan Piker having his phone taken from him by authorities in China.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So he's standing there like a total cuck because they have his phone. They won't give it back to him. Because he was filming at Tiananmen Square, and they don't want you doing that.
Okay.
So is that like a secret phone that he's got?
I have no idea. I just know this is the second time now that I've found a Hassan Piker clip finding out that, it doesn't really work out like you say. Because I went over the Mondani VIP denial.
Oh, yeah, that one too.
Where he just filmed his feet. Because they're like, yeah, we don't know who you are. You can leave.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't take a photo.
So now the phone's being covered up because you're not allowed to film. So I think Hassan had a regular phone and he had a secret phone.
Have you recorded anything?
Oh, here we go.
No.
Yeah, he said he's
Oh, I was holding the camera out, but I didn't do anything yet.
Oh, so they're asking them if they filmed anything. And he's like, oh, I held the camera out, but I wasn't doing anything yet. You know what? Don't lie to communists.
That's not going to help you, sir.
Don't. You don't have a lot of the legal protections you have here, brother. I know that we're fascists, and I know that we're evil and we're imperialists and all this other stuff, but it's a whole different kettle of fish fucking around with communists. Communists are really nice when they have no power in like the college community courtyard, but the minute those motherfuckers take charge, you're dead.
No recording?
So he wants to see the background of your
Of my phone?
Yeah. Sure. Or like a live show. Or,
Listen to Cucky Hassan. They want to see the background of your phone. Oh yeah, sure, absolutely. Whatever happened to these fascists? Don't give these fascists your phone. You have rights. You have this. Hassan's like, oh yeah, here, sure. Take my phone. Take a look at it. Anything you need, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely, sir. Wasn't he at a protest at some ICE protest and he was yelling at cops and shit? And
yeah, because you can yell at those. Again, this is another person who's taken all the liberties they have here for granted and just assumed that those things are universal and that socialism's just another way of looking at it. But no.
No, don't worry. In our next clip, Hassan's going to explain why you're retarded.
Oh.
Another.
We're doing secret memes. Be right back. Oh yeah, I'm sure that's
on there, but my internet is not so good. Okay, we'll
on your
back. Okay,
the internet on your phone, I think.
We're back.
We're just waiting for Will to get out of the bathroom now.
So they basically got told, "Hey, you guys, get the fuck out of here, and we'll give you your phone back." He gets stopped by Chinese security police while streaming in Tiananmen Square, and they ask to look through his phone. So everybody sees this, everybody who dislikes Hassan, and they go, how's that? Police over there.
How's that treating you, buddy?
Yeah, police over there can just come up to you, take your phone. You have no rights. Go fuck yourselves, whatever.
Sounds awful authoritarian.
Yeah, what do you think about that, Hassan? Well, here we go. Here's Hassan telling us why we're all stupid for seeing what we saw.
They thought, so that thing that we went to, okay, the flag raising ceremony is not in focus. Hold on, I'm gonna fix it. The flag raising ceremony that we went to.
Look at this millionaire's capitalism Marlboro shirt. Get it? Capitalism, branding, it's evil, it's bad. You cunt. How much did you pay for that fucking t-shirt? If it's over $25, you're a phony.
is not a thing that white people normally go to, right? It's not normally something that like white people attend, right?
Who the fuck are you? Who are you saying white people? Hey, Turk, who the fuck? What's a white people to you? What does that have to do with you? White people don't usually go to. Well, good, you ain't white. It's not something white people usually go to. Fuck out of here, turkey boy.
And I assume that they are probably extra attentive and extra careful about people coming to do some fuck shit. Like, there's a reason why, for example, there were Chinese nationals on each other's backs, right? But I knew that, like, if we did it, we would get called out by cops.
Oh, so we're shitty, we're awful, communism rules, socialism's great. But you go to China and you go, well, I wanted to be careful how I filmed. I wanted to be careful how I did this. I wanted to be careful how I did that. Because their police get really nervous that there might be white people filming stuff and we can't do that. None of that. I don't understand that because that doesn't happen here.
Well, you see, the reason they trust the Chinese people and everything with all the filming and stuff is because those networks are already tapped into and controlled by the government. So they don't really have to monitor that.
That's true.
Like in person. The reason they didn't trust you is because you're not tapped into that network. They can't just cut your feed remotely. They can't watch you stream. Well, they probably can, especially after you gave them their phone. But and they're pretty much not allowing you to take pictures and stuff because they don't want word to get out other than what they release.
What's the equivalent to Tiananmen Square in America? Maybe Dealey Plaza?
I guess.
You can go to Dealey Plaza. It doesn't matter what color you are, what country you come from. You can go to Dealey Plaza and film all day long.
Hell, Chinese people come here and do that all the time as tourists.
Yeah, nobody's going to stop you, but Hassan's going to tell you why it's okay. I mean, listen to this asshole. This is the problem with people who get too ideologically rigid, whether it's left, right, communist, whatever, reactionary. You get so ideologically rigid that instead of looking at what happened to you and analyzing it, you take what happened to you, process it through the filter of your beliefs, and explain why it's okay. That's dangerous.
Because, like, by and large, especially, like, the government is aware of, like, how they are perceived or how much, like, anti-Chinese propaganda exists out there. And I think the older people are also aware of it as well. But I think the younger populations in China are, ironically enough, less aware. Like, the younger normies are less aware of the animosity that exists, which shouldn't exist at all, obviously, but unfortunately does. And it's almost entirely one-sided. It's entirely designed by America.
Yeah, it's all our fault that the Chinese government took your phone and stopped you from filming at a tourist location. God, this guy's a fucking loser. It's all America's fault that the Chinese Communist Party behaves like communists have always behaved. What's the American going to take the film back and go, look, Tiananmen Square? Ooh.
I got an idea, Hassan, how you can feel more welcomed and accepted in China, especially since you're such a huge fan of communism. Become a Chinese citizen and move there.
Yeah, then you can film all you want.
Yeah, then you'll be one of them.
So it's all one-sided, all this animosity. Yet if you go there and film, they will stop you and take your phone and go through it. Yeah, you're right. It's all just one-sided animosity.
If you come here and film, we won't question what you're doing at all.
You can stand in the middle of Dealey Plaza filming and going, the CIA killed Kennedy. The Jews killed Kennedy. And they'll go, sir, could you just actually do that on the sidewalk, please?
Eventually, Dave Portnoy will show up and say some mean words, but until then, you're fine.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, we're white. So as foreigners,
no, you're not.
At
Stop
this,
it.
National event rather than an international one, where as you guys noticed, like they didn't have any like foreigners there at all. He thought he saw something on the phone. He thought he saw something on the phone. Like,
he saw a non-controlled Chinese network with the ability to record and broadcast.
A mockery, you know what I mean? They didn't realize that we were swagged out white boys who love China. Are you being careful with your words? No, I'm just being.
By the way, that is the tourist communist at its best. Oh, they don't know that I'm a swagged out white boy who loves China. Yet they don't give a shit. It's not that they didn't know. It didn't factor into their head. They don't care.
They did know because you were there.
Right.
People who don't love China tend not to visit.
Everyone is suspect in China. Hassan, you did get treated like everyone else.
I'm just telling you like it is. Like they thought we were, they were being extra attentive to make sure that, no one is making fun of Mao or anything like that. Or or the ceremony.
They were being extra attentive to make sure no one was making fun of Mao. You understand you can go to an American celebration of any great American figure and you can talk shit about them and protest them right there at the event.
People publicly declared how much they hoped someone would assassinate Trump. Like, there was an entire 4 years where there was a chant insulting our president that was used by his political rivals. I mean, again, the idea that the police are going to go
totally okay with.
But the idea the police are going to go through your phone just to make sure you're not doing anything inappropriate about their leader, and that's somehow not more of an authoritarian regime than what we currently live in.
Right. He's saying it like it's a totally normal thing. Oh, they were just there to make sure nobody shit talks Mao. Oh, well, then it's fine, I guess.
And that's what they were. That's what it was. It's normal for police to take close to the foreigners to make sure that white people don't do some shit. Yeah, it's just it's a cultural difference, and also they just don't want anyone to pull a fucking Logan Paul or anything like that. How was it resolved? What do you mean? We just talk to them. We just were like, no, that's not. We're not doing that at all. We're just here to experience the event.
Yeah, and you agreed to leave.
Yeah,
I told you would end up in jail. You got lucky this time. Yeah, okay, calm down. That's not. You're being ridiculous. This is actually one of the things that
you're all being ridiculous for seeing exactly what you saw. Why would you guys assume that the Chinese government, these communists, are terrible and awful and authoritarian just because they took my phone because I was at a thing? You guys are crazy. You're being hysterical. Calm down. I'm a swagged out white boy who loves China. First of all, you're not white. Stop it. You're offending me. It's cultural appropriation, you Arab.
I want to show Americans in general, because like people
he
people
picks that up awfully quick. I mean, he was holding his whole like ethnicity and genocide against Muslims and things as this whole thing and his ethnic heritage and all of that stuff before, when he was against Israel and Gaza. It's weird that all of a sudden now he goes to China. Look, I'm just a swagged out white boy who loves China. Like, no.
So he's pulling a Jewish move too. Wow, that's 3 things he covered. That's impressive.
People have this like false assertion, false notion that it's people have this like false notion that it's like they will arrest you for a meme or whatever. It's not like that at all. Okay, calm down.
They'll arrest you for a meme or whatever. That's not true. Calm down. They will, however,
then make a meme.
They will, however, seize your phone and kick you out of an area if you're filming too much.
They didn't arrest you for the meme because you didn't make it. You just said they were looking for the meme. If you had made a meme about their president that was not, or even just about their president, you probably would have got arrested, buddy.
Cops at this point all around the world, as you guys know. So as far as like cops that I've dealt with all around the world, European cops in France, American cops, just European cops in other European countries, and even Japanese cops as well, I will say that it's not even remotely up there. The farther west you go, the worse cops get, the more aggressive they get.
Oh.
Again, we just discovered discussed how you don't get your phone taken and inspected by the police for being at what in America we'd consider something like Tiananmen Square a tourist destination, right? It's a part of history, of culture.
Ground zero.
Yeah. It'd be a historical tourist site. So again, like if people showed up here to ground zero to get pictures of where the towers fell and stuff, the cops aren't going to, all right, let's look at your phone. Are you posting mean shit about Donald Trump? You know what Donald Trump can't stand? When there's mean shit about him said on the internet.
Yeah. Nobody does that. So we get more Hassan Cope there. And now we're going to get into the lawsuit thing. First, I just want to catch up here. Joey Caravello with $2 says Johnny stuck his tongue up Hassan's ass. Yeah, by the way, he doesn't say allegedly anymore. He just throws him out there.
Interesting.
$1 from Redbird on the John O'Sullivan interview. He says you both sounded out of touch during that interview. Avoiding the bad parts works great if you're just in town to have fun. Those of us that have to work in the shit areas find that infuriating. Absolutely. I understand that completely. That makes total sense, my man. Continuing on, I missed out on quite a few of these. Let me scroll up and grab the rest, and then we'll get to the Hassan thing. We did get the cheeseburger. Did we get the cheeseburger pie contribution? Yes, we did. We did get that one. Dan Vicious with $2 says Walsh was talking about how much African tribal feuds affect Somali voter turnout. I haven't been made aware of that one. Professor Tie-Dye with $1. Oh, no, that's the Doughboy one. We did get that one. Redbird, we got his $1. We got that one taken care of. Joey Caravello. Kyler gifting a membership. Thank you very much, Kyler. That's very much appreciated. That one went to Budapest. All right. Thank you very much. Now Budapest is a member. Thank you for that. Then I think we're all caught up. Yeah, Joey Caravello. Oh, no, Joey Caravello with another $2 says, this is what Johnny said to a woman with Down syndrome. Quote, suck on my white slug like a lollipop and I will buy you a pony. Johnny, don't do that to people.
I mean, I never said that, so yeah, it won't be a problem.
If you don't, I mean, I hope you didn't do that to a Down syndrome person.
Oh, I mean, well, I mean, it's Joey Caravello, so it's either I'm telling the truth or one of us is lying.
I pray to God you weren't doing that.
I'm at least here on camera, so I'm pretty sure I didn't do that.
Los Federales with $1 says, bro, I've been to China 5 times. If you don't know what the rules are, you're a dumb fuck. Hamas Piker was baiting the Chinese police. They should put his ass in Sing Sing for espionage. I feel like that might be some anti-Hassan bias coming. Look at the monkey man in a spacesuit, Johnny.
Oh, boy.
I hate to say, like, numero uno, Josh Denny fan is right, and like these YouTube internet analyses of Joe Rogan are getting to me, or if it's maybe just watching him and noticing shit, we got to stop giving this monkey brain dipshit so much power. I don't mind him when he's a wacky podcast host just dicking around with his friends, but I think the worst thing that ever could have happened to Joe Rogan is he interviewed Trump.
And he became some sort of like respected interviewer, just
commentator,
because he can ask
interviewer, yeah. And then he's going to have Elon Musk on and a bunch of people who want to turn our world over to AI. And here's the thing. It's not malicious. Joe Rogan is perfect for the Illuminati. He's a big, dumb guy with a shitload of money and a huge audience. He thinks I'm just talking to interesting people. He doesn't understand that he's basically rolling out the red carpet for these guys to talk about their plan to enslave humanity. And
to convince other people like Joe to go along with it.
Right. And then he talks in a weird accent and has hundreds of billions of dollars. So Joe goes, wow, that's really deep. That's really amazing. Wow, isn't that crazy when you think about it? Like, I was even listening to Joe's interview with Billy Bob Thornton. I love Billy Bob Thornton, so I wanted to watch it. And while I'm watching the Billy Bob Thornton thing, I'm like, I came to a realization. I was like, the Joe Rogan podcast with certain guests would be better if there were an empty microphone and Joe at the beginning just said over a loudspeaker, okay, go. And then you just let the guys talk. Because Billy Bob Thornton was talking about how he came up with Carl Childers, the Sling Blade character.
Yeah.
And like the evolution of it and how it came from him. His career in Hollywood wasn't going very well. And he stood in front of a mirror and just shit all over himself in that voice. And then
that's where he got the character.
That's how he built the monologue for the character. Then it became a one-man show. Then it became a movie and the whole thing. And like Rogan's asides, like Rogan's interjections are just like, wow. Or wow, so that's like making a movie. Or it's, I mean, it would be like a 5-year-old being told these stories. So that's one thing. What this clip is going to show, Joe Rogan had Tony Hinchcliffe's producer and Joe's former producer, Brian Redban, on his show, which tells me Joe was just out of guests that day, but needed to do a podcast. Joe had Brian Redban on. And when you have Brian Redban on, who's he's a retarded guy. He's not a bad guy. He's not an evil man. But he's stupid. He's remarkably stupid. He's a borderline retarded guy.
I can relate.
You don't need to have deep, heavy political conversations when Brian Redban is on. As a matter of fact, let's just go ahead and skip that part. We don't need to have a conversation with Brian Redban about whether or not the country's going through a civil war. But here's Joe Rogan wanting to get. Now, when you have a guest on and you bring something up, that means you want your guest's opinion on it because it's important.
You think your guest viewpoint is important.
Yeah, I don't mean to start a debate here with my chat, with my audience. I don't think Brian Redban's opinion on whether or not we're heading toward a civil war is important. And also, another aside, what's with these right-wing guys and being obsessed with Civil War? I mean, why don't these guys go to Gettysburg, sign up to do these reenactments, get it out of their fucking system? Joe and all his friends can wear gray like they want to. But, I mean, this upset... Tim Pool does it too. And it's, you know, in Tim Pool's case, it's these little wannabe actual dude pussies who are like, we're heading toward a civil war. Are we, Tim? What evidence do you have for that? Here's a Politico headline. Tim, that article doesn't say anything about civil war. Well, you know, it's facts that we're heading toward a civil war. It's like, Tim, you want to corner the market on being the we're going to have a civil war guy, don't you? What? No, why would I do that?
Tons of you, though.
Tim, you want to grift on the there's going to be a civil war thing, and that's going to be your angle, isn't it? But then Joe Rogan gets on this stuff, and it's like, Joe Rogan has a lot of thoughts that he broadcasts that could have been workshopped in an email.
Right.
And maybe don't need to be brought to tens of millions of people, many of them retarded as well, and might repeat it. But this
just
is
like that shirt or
right,
jacket.
This is Joe Rogan. Like, nobody wearing an astronaut outfit should be discussing whether or not we're heading toward a civil war.
Is this a Halloween episode? What's going on?
I mean, maybe it was recorded on Halloween, but it was released this past week. This is Joe Rogan and Brian Redband talking about a civil war.
Or another, ideologically or politically. And there's like this circular non-answer dance where you're never a real person. You're not saying, you know, like, thank you, Mr. Senator, for that question. You know, like, you're not real. You're just trying to get through this session without revealing anything that's going to force you to be sued.
This coming from the guy who interviews Peter Thiel and Elon Musk and doesn't press them at all on their ideas for AI and humanity melding, or how AI is going to take over, what's the role for humanity, or how Peter Thiel pretty much detests human beings. Yeah, Joe's the hold the feet to the
fires guy.
Yeah. Excuse me, I sneezed.
And that's in charge of the narrative that we get on TV. And a respected narrative. PBS, very respected. BBC, very respected. Like, because of the past. And it's
Joe, look at me, Joe. Do you want to be NPR and PBS? You do, don't you? You think you should be PBS and NPR now? Joe thinks.
Dear Lord, no.
Joe,
you don't want to be NPR. One, you make more money than they do.
Nobody who has Bert Kreischer on his show on a semi-regular basis should be taken seriously as a news organization. And that's a universal fact.
Just got infected by zombies. They just made their way through that gates. And they took over the staff. Blue hair.
Ladies and gentlemen, the sounds I want my most respected political commentators making.
Still better than MS Now.
Well, that's true.
What's next?
This is a
that's the other thing. Brian Redband, I'll defend Redband here because he's just a big dopey retarded guy. Brian Redband is sitting there like, why are you like? Even he's kind of like,
why are you bringing this to me? This is really above my pay grade, sir.
You understand? I first of all lost what you were talking about 15 minutes ago. Second of all, were you expecting me to have a commentary on America's modern news media and its political bend? Because I play fart noises for Tony Hinchcliffe at a comedy show. I don't.
Of that, but the scary part is what we usually do is we do something like that and then we overcorrect, right? And then we go like white nationalists, fucking, we're all Christian, get rid of the Muslims. You know what I mean? Like it gets scary when there's.
I get that. It's like I knew a guy once, Johnny. He had a podcast. And his podcast was just about fucking around with his friends and talking shit to interesting people, admitting you're super dumb, you have no idea what you're talking about, but you're just bullshitting, right?
Right.
And then he had a couple of really famous political guys on, and then all of a sudden he started huffing his own farts and started believing that he was an actual political commentator and that his philosophy was something to be revered.
And we'll never forgive you for that, Mark Maron.
That's right, Mark. You know who you are. Great Hitler Theo Von bit, by the way.
Like hard.
Talking about Sam Cedar, of course.
Or ideological conflict because people push back. Oh, you want to know what a bitch is? I I'll show you a fucking bitch, right? You know, that's what happens. You gonna call me a bitch? Okay, motherfucker, it's on. You know, and then
dude, his takes are embarrassing. Like, I have been a big Joe Rogan fan, but I've been constantly bombarded with these videos and numero uno Josh Denny fan and all these videos kind of turning on that switch that he's a big ape retard and that it's actually kind of dangerous that his finger is so close to like political philosophy that I'm starting to buy in. And then I'm listening to his take here and I'm like, I'm watching a man say nothing.
Yeah, dude. No, I've always been a big Joe Rogan fan, but I always thought he was a big dumb guy who doesn't like, I don't take his political takes very seriously. And that's why when, he interviewed Elon Musk or Donald Trump, and I'm like, right, but who gives a shit? But everybody else did. So it didn't matter what
that's the problem. He has a bunch of alpha brain retards that think this is high quality political banter. I got bad news for you. If Brian Redban's in the room, you're not watching anything of any intellectual sustenance. I assure you.
That's what people are doing on the left and the right, and the ultimate expression of that is obviously Charlie Kirk.
Let me ask you a question real quick, and then I swear I'm going to play more of this clip.
Did he just pull a Patrick Bet David? I don't mean to interrupt you, because he did this whole like, and they're over there like, you bitch, and they're over here like, you bitch, and it just keeps going back and forth. And the ultimate expression of that is, of course, Charlie Kirk.
Johnny, let me talk to you for a second. Let's say I have a bitch, all right? And then you have a bitch, right? We both have bitches.
Okay.
All right? And when we have our bitches start yelling at each other. And then my bitch is going to say to your bitch, like, you're the stupidest bitch, right? And then then now there's a belief by half the people watching this that your bitch is the stupid bitch and mine is the smart bitch. But then your bitch says to my bitch that you're the stupid bitch and that my bitch is not the smart bitch.
Makes sense.
Then half the people there are going to think your bitch is the smart bitch. And then, so I ask you in that case, who's going to be the Democratic primary favorite in 2028? That is a Patrick Bet David move.
Yeah, it is.
But like, again, when you play tennis by yourself, you want to hit the ball against a really sturdy wall, right? A really solid wall. It's going to bounce the ball back at you.
Practically racquetball. Gotcha.
If you're having an ideological conversation and it's one person playing tennis, the wall you are bouncing the ball off of should not be Brian Redban. That's like the wall being made of Jell-O.
Well, he couldn't pick someone who's more intellectually sound. He'd look like a real dumb guy.
You're right. This was a perfect episode for Jordan Peterson.
Brian Redban is kind of like the quintessential ugly chick for him to just kind of.
And people are celebrating like, whoa. You want people to die that you disagree with? Like, where are we right now on the scale of 1 to Civil War? Where are we?
Oh, here we go. 7? They love that Civil War.
5. I thought we were like 4 or 5. But after the Charlie Kirk thing, I'm like, we might be like 7. This might be like step 7 on the way to a bona fide Civil War.
So you're right. He is doing a Patrick Bet David. He just invented a scale for Civil War.
Right.
He didn't explain to us how this scale works, what the metrics of the scale are. He's just throwing numbers out that he found.
We used to be on what I thought was 3 or 4. Now we're at 7.
Inside of his own asshole, if I could.
The fish was this big.
So, they love that Civil War shit, though, boy. And then he's like, well, our country's dumb, and we're on this path to Civil War. And, like, no sense of self-awareness where you go, hey, Joe, where do you fall on the influence of that spectrum?
Do you think you could maybe help pump the brakes or argue maybe a softer narrative of not advocating violence? I don't know.
Or I don't know, when Brian Redban comes on your show, maybe just stay on shit that's in his wheelhouse, like Halloween candy.
Like, talk about the time you saw Tim Dillon shit his pants. I don't know what stories you guys have,
you know
but
what?
Use those.
That would be I'd love to hear that story. That would be a story I would be very happy to hear.
How do you not interview, like, how do you interview, Billy Bob, how do you interview Billy Bob Thornton and not when he's talking about, like, that's how he was processing what he was going through, and then ask him, like, so then how did you feel after you started doing the character? Was it, like, a therapeutic outlet? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, and this is something I think we discovered when we met him, like, he doesn't, like, a lot of people like that character thing, and he doesn't like doing it anymore. Like, So does it bring up, is it like a PTSD thing? Like it puts him back in that place?
I didn't get that vibe from him at all. I don't think he minds.
I thought there was something about he hated doing it because of his jaw. Or?
There was a Canadian radio show host. He was promoting a Boxmasters show, his band, and he instructed the host he didn't want to talk about his acting career because he wanted to respect the band. They were there to promote their gig.
Oh, okay. Then I'm confusing things.
That's what it was. No, he's really cool about talking about his career and his life. Billy Bob grew up very poor. He's very thankful for everything he's got, and so he doesn't mind talking about. He'll talk endlessly about his career because he's very proud of it, and it allowed him to have a better life, essentially. Veldrain gifting a membership. Thank you very much, buddy. He gave that one to Ep Didn't. Thank you very much. Joey Caravello with $2 says Joe Rogan allegedly had a threesome with Brian Callen and Bert Kreischer. He said allegedly. Hey,
this is beautiful.
Look at that. He said he did say you fucked your mom. He didn't put allegedly in that one.
Completely untrue, but
he is learn. I mean, he's learning, and that's.
But he's picking it up slowly. You know what? Baby steps. I'm not going to expect the mountain to move in a day.
170 away from today, thanks to that gifted membership. 35 memberships away from 400. If we get to 400 today, guys, we are going to be. We're going to go till 11 today if we hit that number, because that would be great. Bo Archer says, "How long is the YouTube suspension?" Well, we're not suspended on YouTube. They currently won't let us live stream. We can upload, we can do everything else, and they have
the live streaming is the only problem.
We do not have a strike. We do not have a suspension, and they have not told us. They have not told us about when it's coming back. So that's interesting. Coltrane says, speaking of Billy Bob, Landman Season 2 comes back soon. Well, that's why he's making the rounds. That's why he's doing all these interviews. Landman, I think that might be this week. Season 2 date. Landman Season 2, November 16th. So 14, Sunday, it comes back. 10 episode season. Final episode airing on January 8th. Oh, shit, that's right. They do it old school. They release them one a week. Right. Mark Levin and Tucker Carlson.
Oh, boy.
Marky Mark is not happy because he and Ben Shapiro and all these guys over the last few years have had this thing where they can guilt people into backing off their opinion of Israel or them or whatever. Well,
right.
The guilt isn't working anymore, but they're still trying it. And there's nothing worse than running a very obvious guilt trip, a disingenuous guilt trip that you don't believe in, and people not buying it. I mean, I watched this clip, and we'll watch it here in a second. Watching Mark Levin try to brainwash his audience is, number one, very cringe. And number two, I thought about the person watching this who actually believes it. And I went,
that would make me sad.
Oh, it's so gross. So Turning Point USA, they see all this drama happening. You know, Tucker Carlson had Nick Fuentes on his show.
Right.
Now all of a sudden, Mark Levin, Tucker Carlson is anti-Israel and anti-America, and he's against Trump. You know, it's funny watching all these Jewish never-Trumpers who hated Trump from Jump Street. Now that they've been able to co-opt him into not releasing the Epstein stuff, bombing Iran and being a friend to the bankers, now all of a sudden they love him. He's great. And if you criticize Trump and try to be a MAGA type person, they go, well, this person, he doesn't like your president. He doesn't like Donald Trump. Don't we love Trump? There was a gross part of that debate between Dave Smith and Justin Hammer about Israel.
The one we played last week?
At Turning Point USA.
Oh.
Where
Point USA.
Hammer and Dave Smith were on stage. And Hammer, who again was a never Trump guy, tried to get the audience to turn on Dave Smith by going, he said bad things about Trump, and we love Donald Trump here at Turning Point USA, don't we, guys? And it was the most like Jewish manipulative shit I've ever seen. Here, it's
different regions of the world, so that America can then focus on China. That they may live.
It's
of the position.
This is Charlie Kirk here
as well. So Josh, welcome. Great to have you. Great to be here, Charlie. Also, Dave Smith. Dave is
The appeared.
Let's go to where.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you. War after, but they have influence.
We'll get to inform the audience of this, that the actual leader of the Israeli right back in 2002, a man by the name of Ariel Sharon, vehemently opposed the Bush administration going into the country. Seriously, my friend, you deserve this. You all are card-carrying members of it. We here are part of that. The good news is that while no one should be afraid of debate, and this debate is a nice thing here, the MAGA movement is actually quite unified. Believe it or not, all the talk to the contrary when it comes to these issues. And overwhelming.
Boy, that didn't age well. But he's going to get to a part here where he goes, and he said bad things about Donald Trump. Isn't that bad? And I've seen Shapiro do this. I've seen Levin do this. I've seen them all do this, where they think all you goy are retarded, and they feed you slop, and they go, be happy, pigs.
Overwhelming majority of self-identified MAGA Republicans supports close U.S.-Israel relations. According to a CBS News poll, moreover, Trump supporter. Donald Trump, Dave Smith, June 16th.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Okay, here's where he's going to start going.
He got the transcript.
Yeah.
God,
he's at least partially responsible for the two worst. A little bit of a highlight reel here. What did Dave Smith say about this? After the recent Operation Midnight Hammer B-2 bombers in Iran, 94% of self-identified MAGA Republicans supported President Trump's dropping those B-2 bombs on Fort Natanz and the other Iranian facilities there. This is a wildly popular policy there. What did Dave Smith say about this? He re-upped his now years-long crusade to call for Donald Trump's impeachment. Y'all probably don't know that about Dave Smith, do you? He's now called for Donald Trump to be impeached multiple times.
Isn't this terrible, you guys? Because we all love Donald Trump. Dave Smith, who criticizes Israel, doesn't like Donald Trump. Isn't he the worst?
To be fair, they never wanted him impeached. They simply never wanted him in the first place.
Right. Yeah, you know, Hammer, Shapiro, Levin, that's true. They never wanted him impeached because they never wanted him to be president.
In the first place.
Yeah.
Dave, look, I don't like when people misquote me either. You probably don't like when people misquote you. So I actually have a little bit of a highlight reel here of Dave Smith's tweets over the years. Dave Smith, March 19th, 2024. Donald Trump is responsible for around 500,000 deaths in Yemen, and between the weapons to Ukraine and the Abraham Accords Jerusalem embassy, he is at least partially responsible for the two worst humanitarian crises in the world. He's a war criminal who should spend his life in prison. He is calling Donald Trump a war criminal who should spend his life
and don't you guys hate that? Do you see how, am I wrong, or is this just manipulative?
It is manipulative because, again, we know for a fact you guys weren't really on. And here's where it's, if he willingly capitulated to all the stuff that's going on in those areas and yeah, that is almost war level. Here's the thing. I kind of view what's been happening in the Israel-Gaza area as worth investigating of war crimes on multiple sides.
Well, and it's just, you're supposed to be in a debate with Dave Smith. Instead, you're trying to manipulate the audience to dislike him instead of bringing up good points.
Well, this is a classic MAGA America tactic where we bring up old tweets.
Right, because we're supposed to be super for that.
Yeah, because we're cancel culture.
Yes.
You should be livid at that. I am livid at that as a Trump supporter. Donald Trump, Dave Smith, June 16, 2025. Trump allegedly had full prior knowledge of Donald Trump has now launched an illegal war of aggression against Iran. The risk of an absolute catastrophe is very high, and the benefits are not.
So he continues.
He literally said, "I'm not going to let Iran get a nuclear weapon." And guess what? He said, I oppose a neoconservative foreign policy. He did both of those things with Iran. He deprived the Iranian regime of nuclear weapon while not losing a single.
I mean, it's easy to deprive a country of nuclear weapons when they don't have nuclear weapons.
Yep. If we just blow up anything resembling infrastructure and call it nuclear weapons, we'll never get them.
American sailor, soldier, Marine while depriving them of nuclear weapons.
I stopped my dog from driving a car today.
You did?
Yeah, I'm a hero. I saved everyone in my neighborhood's life because I didn't let my dog drive the car. Forget the fact that he has no capability to drive a car or start a car or do anything with a car. I stopped him. I'm a hero.
Finally, Charlie, I'll end on this.
And I stopped him by bombing his house and murdering his family.
Dave Smith, July 8th, 2025. In the last month, Donald Trump has launched a war of aggression on behalf of a foreign government, exploded the debt, announced that he's continuing the Biden policy of arming Ukraine, and covered up a giant child rape operation. So, according
all of those things are 1,000% accurate.
Yeah.
Those are all things that Dave Smith or that Donald Trump did.
You can love Donald Trump, but let's be honest, those things did happen.
Yes.
Donald Trump is not just engaging in wars on behalf of foreign government. He is also covering up the world's giant pedophilic child sex trafficking ring, allegedly, I presume, on behalf of a foreign government as well. So I'm disgusted, frankly, that this man is on stage, but I'll end it at that.
Okay, well, I'm disgusted that he's even on stage. It's disgusting that he's even here. I'll just end it at that. Ugh. Great impression of a Jewish mom.
I'll end it at that after I've said every possible thing I can effing think of to say.
Yeah. Trucker 18 Wheelers with $1 says Hannity, Shapiro, Levin, Joe Pags, and many more were all never Trumpers now choking on Israel dick. In fairness, all of those guys have been choking on Israel dick for decades. They were just
not a new trend.
The new trend is them being MAGA all of a sudden. So this is Mark Levin on his radio show. Turning Point USA said, hey, I've got a great idea for our next debate. All of these people are shitting on Tucker Carlson for talking to Nick Fuentes. Why doesn't Mark Levin show up in Scottsdale, Arizona and debate Tucker? So Tucker, being a man, goes right to Mark Levin and texts him, hey, Turning Point wants us to do this debate together. I think it would be a great idea. Mark Levin read these texts on the air. I'm guessing because he thought they would make him look good. I don't know what gave him that idea. But
I don't think Tucker's being secretive about it.
He's not. This is Mark Levin on Tucker Carlson asking him to debate. Now, this is the same thing I thought with Ben Shapiro when he was talking to Megyn Kelly, like, Tucker didn't interview Nick Fuentes the right way. And it's like, well, then you interview him.
Right.
Show us the way, Ben. Show us how you should interview Nick Fuentes. That would be perfect.
And if you won't do that, at least have having a face-to-face debate with Tucker seems like the next best option.
Sounds like a great idea.
I got a very strange text this morning from Tucker Carlson.
Strange.
10:16 a.m. I'll read it to you for verbatim. Good morning, he writes to me. The leadership at Turning Point has asked me to debate you at their event in Scottsdale in December. I'm happy to do it, and I hope you'll agree as well. Beyond the personal insults, which I'll try to keep to a minimum, there are real and important ideological differences between us. And I think the country would benefit from an extended conversation about them. So again,
weird text. You hear that? He said, I got a weird text from Tucker Carlson.
I'm waiting for the weird part.
That sounds like a remarkably well-measured and polite text asking about a debate.
And he's completely honest about himself, saying, like outside of the personal barbs, there's a lot to cover here, and I'll try to keep those to a minimum. He's not even saying like, oh, I won't do this. He's being honest with who he is and his intentions. What more do you want?
Exactly. And now listen to Mark Levin's response. Tucker said something great. He goes, I think the country would benefit from hearing our different ideas. You have to understand, one thing these Zionists don't want to do is discuss differing ideas. America needs to stop acting like Zionists love freedom the way we do. They don't. No. They want to control the narrative. It was like that Hammer guy trying to manipulate people into hating Dave Smith instead of debating him. They want to control the narrative. They want to be in charge. They don't hold the same values you do. And you can say it's, they're triggered from the Holocaust. They have bad memories. They're traumatized from it. That's fine. That's okay. God damn, that's understandable. But please do not act like people like Mark Levin. You can appeal to his sense of freedom of speech. You can appeal to his sense of sharing ideas. He doesn't
believe in those things.
Sharing ideas is very much the libertarian wing of the Republican Party. The open debate, the discussion, the talking about things. The neocon Zionist pro-Israel wing of the Republican Party has never said we should talk to our enemies. They're the people who after 9/11 said we just got to bomb them all. You're either with us or you're against us. They've never been the pro-debate side. So for Tucker to try and appeal to Mark Levin's, Oxford rules debate side, his intellectual side, it's not there, dude. He wants to control. You talked to a 28-year-old kid on your podcast and he blew a fucking gasket because he doesn't like what that kid has to say about his precious Israel. So
what I want to know is what Mark Levin thought he'd get out of pointing all this out to everybody.
Right. And you're going to hear in his response, Mark Levin should have just left this alone.
I hope you'll accept. Let me know. Thanks. The guy is desperate.
He's desperate. Turning
They
Point
came to him with an offer.
Turning Point asked him if he would debate you, and he's coming to you with that. Gee, I guess he's desperate.
He's taking a hit on his podcast. He's fighting like hell for his career. He's fighting like hell for his reputation. People are awakening to what scum he actually is.
See, this is, again, this is an old radio guy trick, and I always just blasted hack radio guys for this. Just saying shit doesn't make it true. You know, he's trying to convince his audience, don't listen to anyone else but me. Don't go anywhere else. Don't look, you know me. If people hate my guts, go listen to them. You'll see how unhinged and fucking crazy they are. I think that was proved on Friday with the ultimate toe victory. But this idea that Mark Levin can keep his audience in a bubble, can keep him away from the Tuckers, and then convince them that Tucker's failing. You know what? Let's do something real quick. This is easily fact checkable.
Right, let's see Tucker's numbers compared to Levin's. I'll say this. I know for a fact Tucker doesn't need this career. It's a choice thing, but it's one of the reasons some people like him. Yes, he makes money at this. Yes, he makes good money at doing this. He makes damn good money doing this. Like, if you can run a business and run it well, why wouldn't you? But he's not reliant on it.
Let's go ahead and check. So his podcast numbers are down. He's fighting for his career. Tucker Carlson on YouTube, 4.98 million subscribers. Okay, let's take a look at his last few videos. Let's go to 2 months ago. 2 months ago, you had, these were the numbers: 2.3 million, 1.5 million, 282,000, 6.3 million. That's the 9/11 documentary files. 1,619,000, 1.8 million. So really anywhere between 1 and 2 million, with one outstanding 6.3 million for the 9/11 thing. So, all right. So Tucker's at about 1 to 2 million 2 months ago. Let's see if he's fighting for his life. Let's see what's up. Here we go. Where's the Nick Fuentes one? Here we go. Nick Fuentes interview 2 weeks ago. 5.9 million views.
Okay.
The next one, a plot to overthrow Venezuela, a thing that most people don't know anything about. 793,000, so right in line. The George Santos one did bomb, 477,000. But then 616, 969, and then the last couple days, you need to give these time to, gather views.
Time to cook a bit.
Yeah, 500,000 20 hours ago. That's not even a day old. So Tucker's still right around the 1 million. He pops the occasional 5.96 million.
It has cooled a little, but I don't think enough to really matter.
Yeah, I think Tucker's more relevant now than he's ever been. I certainly don't think he's clawing in the dark for his career.
And he's desperate.
So let's listen to Mark Levin continue to gaslight his audience into thinking that him running away from a Tucker Carlson debate is somehow Tucker Carlson's fault.
And he thinks I'm going to platform him?
No.
No, Mark, first of all, if you and Tucker spoke, he would be platforming you. Number two, he's not platforming you. You're not platforming him. Turning Point USA is platforming the both of you.
He thinks I'm going to help him kick up his podcast ratings?
No. Turning Point.
What would Charlie say? What would Rush say?
I'll tell you what
Do the show.
I'll tell you what Charlie would say. Come to Turning Point and debate Tucker Carlson.
Show. I think they both would say, do the show.
Again, you
guys believe in your viewpoints. Talk it out. Isn't that what we used to do in this country, is discuss stuff and let the better viewpoint argue the day? I thought that was democratic or something.
This is more of that manipulation of him trying to use the memory of Charlie Kirk to excuse him trying to skedaddle his way out of an honest debate. I mean, we all look, Charlie Kirk's life is on the record. Charlie Kirk wanted people to get together and debate. So what would Charlie Kirk say? He'd say, quit being a show. He'd say, quit being a whiny Jewish bitch and sit down with Tucker and do the interview. Actually, he would have said, judging by the text days before he died, I'm fucking tired of you people. Sit down and debate, or I'm never talking to you again.
What would any rational response? Here it is. I wrote him the following.
Okay.
My family and I want nothing to do with you. What you've become, your vile libels against my faith, millions of Christians. And
by the way, I've noticed that Jewish people love that word, libels. Libels. You're spreading libels about us, like just the victimhood language. It's the most manipulative victimhood language I've ever heard. They operate from a position of influence and power, but they use victimized language. It's so frustrating, and it's so manipulative, and it's like it's fucking mental illness, man.
Now, I don't know about me because I'm on the outside looking in with this, but whenever like Mark Levin or them pull up like Christian and what you've done to Christians, I'm like, it kind of annoys me because I'm like, hey, I don't know all the rules, but didn't you guys like kill their guy? Like if you at least get, and what you've done to Christians is almost worse than when we nailed your savior to a cross.
My view, what you seek to do to our...
Oh, and then this person who put this video up there put the Charlie Kirk text messages up there. Jewish donors play into all the stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. What would Charlie
Kirk's actual beliefs?
Yeah.
So
what would Charlie Kirk say? He'd say this. This is what Charlie Kirk would say. In fact, he wouldn't. It's not that he would say that. He did say that.
He did.
Country. There's nothing to debate. You're a Nazi promoter.
Oh.
You're the modern day David Duke. I debate people with whom I just...
Wait, Tucker Carlson's a Fed? That's wild. I mean, you notice guys like David Duke, when someone...
I called you a Fed!
When someone like Trump in 2016 starts getting traction and starts winning in the polls, what do? All of a sudden, David Duke out of nowhere endorses Donald Trump, vocally endorses Donald Trump. I'm sure that David Duke's not a Fed.
Disagree for a living. We're a lot smarter than you, but for whom I have some respect. I'm also disappointed in TPUSA that continues to platform you. It's not about free speech. You can be heard by millions regardless. Some unsolicited advice. Stop long enough to remember who you used to be and what you used to stand for.
That's right. Remember
that was pushing our narrative.
Remember the Tucker Carlson who defended every war that George Bush walked us into. So Mark Levin had no problem with Tucker Carlson when he was supporting the wholesale slaughter of people in the Middle East. It's only once Tucker started to feel really guilty and shitty about that and started to change his tune that Mark Levin thought he was a Nazi. This is remarkably telling. And also, Mark, the old saying, if you go and you meet an asshole, you met an asshole. If you go out and everybody you meet is an asshole, you're an asshole. I'm disappointed in Tucker. I'm disappointed in Megyn Kelly. I'm disappointed in Nick Fuentes. I'm disappointed in Turning Point USA. I'm disappointed in... Mark, we're meeting an awful lot of assholes, buddy. You want to talk about it?
So, as expected, knee-jerk. For the record, I'm strongly anti-Nazi. Does he sound that way to you, America? Oh, you're going to hear more.
Listen to that. That's what I'm talking about, that manipulative shit.
For the record, I'm here and I'm here.
No. He was reading Tucker's response.
Oh.
Tucker was going, for the record, I'm profoundly anti-Nazi. Does it sound like that, America? See, you're America. You, the people. You're the real America. Until you disagree with guys like this, then you're a communist, shitbag, anti-Semite.
Right. Well, look at Tucker.
Piece of shit, right?
Yeah.
Anti-Jew.
He was their boy 5 minutes ago.
Right, exactly. Think about who you used to be. We've got Muslims to kill, God damn it.
That's hardly the point. This seems like the perfect opportunity to rebut what you consider evil ideas and to do it to my face like a man. I think you'd jump at the chance, assuming you believe your positions are defensible. I'm offering the marketplace of ideas you often talk about. Is it possible you can't really defend, for example, what Israel has done to civilians in Gaza?
Nice, Tucker.
I said, there you go.
I mean, Mark, I got to give you advice, buddy. I know I'm not on your side. I know I don't like you. I wouldn't have read these on the air.
Yeah, because this is, again, him just, again, he's not excusing any of his ideas. He's not calling you. You've already demonized him 4 or 5 times in this whole thing. He's not even demonizing you. He's offering you the chance to, look him in the face and rebut his ideas with your proof. Again,
right.
Let your argument win.
And you're sitting there going, you are a Nazi, and I hate who you've become. You're a terrible guy. And Tucker's trying to go, Mark, my allegiance is to the republic, to democracy. Mark Levin's like, you forgot who you used to be. You're either with me or you're my enemy. And Tucker's going, then I will do what I must.
I said, there you go.
Oh, to watch Mark Levin slide into a volcano with no arms and legs anymore? Wait, did he get his arms and legs or just his legs?
I think he got his arms and his legs.
Yeah, he fucked him up pretty bad. He was a stump. When
He
the
either
Emperor
got
found
the
him.
arms and he got the arms and the legs because he had no way to climb back up.
Mark Levin ends the debate. I hate you. I hate you. By the way, Obi-Wan Kenobi, 2-time fuck up.
Yeah.
Had Vader dead once, didn't finish him off. Had him dead later. Remember with the fight in the Obi-Wan series?
Yep. And then didn't do nothing.
No. Didn't give a shit about the galaxy.
Go. You're not feared, you're despised. Well, you're a coward, and if you change your mind, I'm here. Thanks. You little bastard, you attack my stepson?
Wait, what? Can we go back to that last message? Because it gets kind of fuzzy when it's Mark and when it's Tucker at the end.
Yeah.
I kind of got, you were getting the sense of that too?
Yeah. Who's calling who feared and what?
You bastard, you attacked my stepson with these libels. That's the other thing. People like Mark Levin, and I guess I'll say it, Jews, we're on Rumble now. Jews do this thing. Jews in Mark Levin's position do this thing where they play victim after they pick a fight, they get punched in the nose, they play victim, and then they accuse you of saying shit about people that you never said.
Because they're taking an offense, like you've offended me and like he mentioned earlier, your attacks on my family because you're attacking him, so you're automatically attacking his family. So this means that everything you say about Mark Levin is also directly at his stepson, I guess.
When has Mark Levin, when has Tucker Carlson ever attacked Mark Levin's family?
When's he ever attacked anyone other than his subject?
Right. You're the fat idiot that he doesn't like. I mean, I'm garbage. I'll attack your family if you want me to. Here's my main criticism of your family. They continue to put up with your trifling nonsense. There. That's my attack of your family.
Well, you can't really defend, for example, what Israel has done to civilians in Gaza? I said, there you go. You're not feared, you're despised. Well, you're a coward, and if you change your mind, I'm here. Thanks.
That was Tucker's response. You're a coward, and if you want to respond, I'm here.
You little bastard, you attack my stepson?
What?
You didn't do that face to face, did you?
Huh?
You stabbed him in the back while he's serving President Trump on his second tour, while he's in safe rooms with ballistic missiles passing over his head. You little bastard. Nobody's afraid of you.
Well, then debate him.
I'd rather debate a skunk than you.
Yeah, you could win that one.
Yeah, because it won't talk back.
And skunks, we know, traditionally very Zionist.
Yeah.
Skunks are, well, you know. So wait a minute. Is Mark Levin's stepson like in the administration?
Either way, what's the attack? That I don't remember, unless he's referencing something entirely from a different point of time. I have no idea where Tucker Carlson said anything to him about anything. And by the way, Tucker Carlson's biggest thing of like, well, you're whatever, and I'll be here talking. Like that was his big hit back. Like he didn't even attack Mark Levin this whole time.
No,
he just asked you can defend your positions on these things. I can defend my positions again. His positions are against like what's happening to civilians in Gaza, like civilians in Gaza being starved out. And I've seen the footage and stuff. People being murdered, getting food. Like that, you don't have to like Hamas. You can be against what's happening to people in Gaza because you have this weird effing thing called empathy. When you see a child that has like an exposed spinal column and rib cage.
Johnny, in fairness, Mark Levin can't when they have brown skin. It's a medical condition he has. It's called being a Zionist Jew.
Oh, it's weird because I can relate to that for a split second, but again, there's something about me when I see a young person and their skeletal structures poking through their skin. I get this weirdly like, what is wrong with you?
The fuck, dude? Why are you attacking Mark Levin's stepson? This is Donald Trump telling the American people that the reason we have H-1B visas is because they're not smart enough to do the jobs. And look at all those green lights in the chat. Keep them going, baby. Keep them going. Keep those green lights up. We're loving it. We're loving it. Well, no, Baba Shab, that's not what I meant. Numero uno Josh Denny fan says, Richard Head makes a decent point, though. You're mostly known as a queso and a cake expert. Okay, that's a decent way of putting it. But I'm trying to branch out. I think that's important to diversify your field of expertise. Dr. Doom with $1. Oh, no, we read that one, Dr. Doom. You said I didn't read yours. We did it. Thank you for the green lights and proving Richard Head wrong. I appreciate it. Thank you, David, for the $1 on PayPal. You'd all be dead now if it wasn't for my David. So here's Trump talking to Laura Ingraham. And the question comes up that, hey, you remember when you said that you were going to make things better for all Americans and you were going to get Americans jobs and the economy was going to come roaring back? Well, now we've got all these H-1B visas going out there. And all of these H-1B visas are, 30% cheaper pay, and the American people get phased out of the job market. Well, it can't be that Donald Trump isn't keeping his promise. It can't be that Donald Trump's wrong. It's got to be that we're all stupid and bad. Trump, I'm sorry, guys, Trump is starting to sound a lot like Joe Biden. Remember when they would ask Joe Biden about the economy? Go, the economy's great. Economy's going great. We got an amazing economy. I can't do it, Joe Biden. I'm sorry. But he would show us the stats. He would go, look at the Dow. The Dow's going like this. And they were like, yeah, but the way Americans feel is going like this. Everybody's fucking broke and depressed, and they can't afford a house. Yeah, but the charts are going, look at the charts. Trump's being the same way. It's like, hey, the American people are experiencing groceries not going down. The American people are experiencing inflation not getting better. The American people are experiencing everything still being shitty. And Trump's like, it's all a hoax. They don't know what they're talking about. The American people, they're not smart enough to get it. So Trump and Biden both are incapable of fucking up. And really, that's a trait shared by all presidents. You got to be a psychopath to want that job. So admitting you're wrong is not really a thing they're good at.
Republicans have to talk about it.
And does that mean the H-1B visa thing will not be a big priority for your administration?
Gotta go. We don't need them.
If you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent. When
we have plenty of talented people here.
No, you don't.
We don't.
No, you don't. You hear that, guys? That's your America First president. I'm trying, guys. I got MAGA viewers. I'm trying to wake you guys the fuck up. This guy doesn't care about you. This guy doesn't give a shit. For some reason, I do. I love you. And I want to see the place I live prosper and do well for everybody. This guy doesn't give a shit about you. You've always been a vote to him. You've always been a checked yes box to him. You got to start telling this fucking guy no. And I mean, you got to go to the mattresses on it. I'm saying you got to ask for his impeachment. You got to ask for him to go. You got to say, we'll get rid of your stupid ass. We'll vote for fucking Democrats. That's what you have to do. Shit's not going to change until you threaten these people to do something really crazy, like vote for retards.
Have talented people here?
No, you don't have certain talents, and people have to learn. You can't take people off an unemployment.
You're teaching these Indians. Dude, we're already getting so throttled on YouTube. Like, that's not going to help. You're already having to train these Indians that come in. You can't train an American worker who, I don't know, speaks the language. Plus, that American worker, his friends aren't going to tell me that my car warranty's up.
An unemployment line and say, I'm going to put you into a factory where we're going to make missiles, or I'm going to put
How did we ever do it before?
Well,
I'll
give you an example. In Georgia, they raided because they wanted illegal immigrants out. They had people from South Korea that made batteries all their lives. Making batteries are very complicated. It's not an easy thing and very dangerous. A lot of explosions, You
can teach people. There's training programs. Like maybe you take all that foreign aid, You take all those military bases, billions of dollars a year we spend in Japan, Germany, and all these other places. I don't think the war is going to break out again. And you bring that money in and you create training programs. Training programs for American citizens to get American jobs in American factories. What a fucking concept.
Problems. They had like 500 or 600 people, early stages, to make batteries and to teach people how to do it. Well, they wanted them to get out of the country. You're going to need that, Laura. I mean, I know you and I disagree on this. You can't just say a country's coming in, going to invest $10 billion to build a plant, and going to take people off an unemployment line who haven't worked in 5 years, and they're going to start making missiles. It doesn't work that way.
Oh, so we have to sell out. Then what's the point of taking the $17 billion investment or whatever you said? What's the point of taking? Because at that point, now you're just selling our country to the Koreans. Oh, thank you very much for the $17 billion. What's this going to do for the American people? Not a fucking thing. You're all retarded and lazy. I mean, then what's the point? Why take? The only reason we take the billions of dollars from these companies is so that it benefits the American people. Not the Trump. It benefits the billionaires who cover the tab. He became what we always worried he would become. And now with the Epstein stuff, I'm sorry, he's going to double down. Yeah, Sam Show says you can't take people out of the unemployment line and teach them to make batteries. So you import Mexicans and Indians to make them, which are significantly more retarded. Root says the Indian government is paying to train their retards basic tech skills to put a dent in that $1.5 billion street shitter population. That's right. Unload them on the U.S. Right? Oh, no. Are you okay? I heard something hit the ground. I think it was just a cup. Was it my fault? Oh, I thought maybe I fucked up. When I went to get my water Yeti, I thought maybe I left something laying down up there. Sorry, I'm just yelling about brown people. Okay. She goes, it's fine. You get used to me yelling about brown people at somebody. You're like, hey, I'm down here. I'm sorry about the yelling about brown people. It's fine. Brian says it was reported in San Diego yesterday, 13% of freshmen in college couldn't do first grade math. 81% couldn't do eighth grade math. I mean, and you know, I'm sorry, but it's intentional. So now we got a guy. I think this is the most interesting contrasting clip we have, and then we'll get to Ben Shapiro shitting all over you and I, just shitting all over the American people. You know, the country he visits when he's not at home in Israel. J.D. Vance. And I don't want to like J.D. Vance because of the connections to Peter Thiel and the AI stuff and all of that, but you know, J.D. Vance is smart. J.D. Vance knows where his bread is buttered, and I think he and his benefactors see the writing on the wall that Trump is fixing to go down hard, and so he's distancing himself from Donald Trump. You just saw Trump tell Laura Ingraham, the American people, no, they're not smart enough and talented enough to do these jobs, so we got to go get them from India. Well, J.D. Vance was asked about H-1B visas, and either he didn't get the memo from the Trump administration on what the talking point was, or this guy just entered the 2028 primaries. We'll play the clip, and you guys can decide which one it is.
But I make a couple points about this. First of all, I've heard a lot of the criticisms, the fear that we're going to have a brain drain. If you go back to the 50s and 60s, the American space program, the program that was the first to put a human being on the surface of the...
that was black women. I watched that movie. These black ladies did that on a chalkboard. That's what the space program was. It was overweight black women doing math problems. What was the name of that movie? It's one of my favorite. Was that a Farrelly Brothers comedy? I can't remember. It was like Colored something. No, not Colored People. But yeah, it was a movie about how, did you know the American space program was all black ladies? Really? Wow. We're DEI maxing even back in the 60s.
Moon was built by American citizens, some German and Jewish scientists who had come over during World War II.
Wait, what? One more time? JD, the space program was built by, we kind of glossed over that part.
German and Jewish scientists who had come over during World War II.
Wait, the German ones, what were they? That's weird. Like after World War II? That's weird. What were those German ones doing during World War II? You didn't need to say that part. We all kind of knew it. The American space program. It was built by German scientists after World War II. Oh, we should have gotten a head start. Why weren't we working on this space program during World War II? We could have gotten those same German guys. Ooh, no. Why not? They were busy building really awesome rockets for the Nazis. Oh, like they contracted with the Nazis. Oh, no, they were full-blown Nazis. They, really, but Werner von Braun, like he was just a nerdy scientist building rockets, right? Like he wasn't a Nazi. Oh, no, he starved Jewish slaves and made them work in his factories. He was a complete prick. But Werner von Braun, he wasn't down with all that shit. He was just doing it because he had to. No, despised the Jews, couldn't stand them. In fact, really seemed to enjoy using them as slave labor. Oh, we just had him build our space program, huh? Well, we had to beat the Russians. Okay, well that's and now that you put it that way, it's that sounds kind of evil.
Some German and Jewish scientists who had come over during World War II, but mostly by American citizens who had built an incredible space program with American talent. This idea that American citizens don't have the talent to do great things, you have to import a foreign class of servants and professors to do these things. I just reject that. I actually think if we invest in our own people, we can do a lot of good. You've heard that criticism in particular as the president has talked about cracking down on foreign student visas and their abuses, but I think that's actually an opportunity for American citizens to really flourish. And here's the...
I agree with him, and that's the end of the clip. It cuts off rather abruptly. I'm sorry. Good for JD. The only thing is I'm just paranoid that he's like I said, a teal plant. And he's going to fuck us over in the end, too.